The Rain Man Show contains adult language and discussions. If you're easily offended, do not continue to listen.
From the Cave of Wonders and recorded live in the presence of gods, where heroes are forged and the weak perish, we welcome you to the Rain Man Show.
What's your name?
Rain Man. Rain Man. Rain Man. Rain Man.
Fuck you! That's my name!
Rain Man.
Set up, double-crossed, and left foot dead.
Fuck me? No. Fuck you.
Rain Man.
Framed for murder, now he prowls the Badlands, an outlaw hunting outlaws, a bounty hunter, a renegade.
With the few who remain, battle to the last. No one has ever known the Burma freedom.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to everybody out there in Radio Land. This is the Rain Man Show on Rain Man Digital. We got a big show today, a really big show. So in about 30 to 40 minutes, we have Fred Estby of the Dagger will be calling in. And we're also going to be playing some of his singles, a couple of his hit singles that he has coming in as well, and probably the second half of the hour. The Dagger, Aisha. I don't know if you're a fan of like the new wave of British heavy metal. It's some phenomenal shit. Like if you like the old 70s classic rock, heavy rock, it's really good. And they're kind of bringing back that style. They're trying to bring it back.
Check them out, see what they're all about.
Yeah, they're not bad. Not bad at all. I'm actually pretty excited for the interview. But I take it that you're feeling a little better this week? No migraine?
Yeah, my cranium doesn't want to split in two, so I'm here.
Good. I missed you last week.
Aww.
I needed the voice of reasoning to keep me in line.
I feel like my boobs kind of balance everything out.
But instead, since you were missing, we did have the PC dolphin, or as we were calling it, the no-rate dolphin. Every time Ryan brought up an inappropriate joke, I had the dolphin making little dolphin noises. He was a hit, by the way, Brian.
Was he really?
Yeah, dude.
No, he was not.
People always like the foolish thing.
That's so stupid.
Like, people were dying laughing, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Over the fucking...
So... Yeah,
so bad.
I think the PC dolphin will probably be around for a few more shows until I get tired of it, maybe. I don't know. But it seemed like people liked it. So he's back. Hello there, dolphin.
Yay, dolphin.
Dude, I want that dolphin to like come alive and just rape you. Just your face.
No one's
just rape
molesting
your
this
face.
dolphin, right? Did anyone else hear about that?
Oh my God, yes. Okay, am I being oversensitive here for animals? Like, is that wrong to anybody else?
I'm on the fence about it. 'Cause I'm like, she's masturbating them, so she can't really be hurting them. But, I mean, that's still not right. But then there is that guy that's married to one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how should I really feel about this?
Well, I think
And
the
don't
real
know
question is are the dolphins coming up to her to get serviced, or is she
Yes.
swimming out to them?
Yes, the dolphin needs it.
Well, then it's fine.
Like,
if the
did you
dolphin
read
wants
that?
it,
Dolphins
it's okay.
are all constantly going
Yeah.
around raping people.
Right, they're
So,
little
I
rape
mean,
monsters.
If she's preventing rape,
He agrees.
more power to her.
Did you read the entire article? Like how he was
No, I
he was
didn't.
depressed when they
Oh.
took the lady away.
No.
Yes, they
Well,
stopped
you'd
doing
be
it.
Too. He
And-
doesn't have hands to work it himself.
I like Tony just like chuckles. That's great.
Oh my God! You know what? And it goes back to the age-old discussion that we had with Seth on Men Lives. How he says he's against people having sex with dogs,
right?
But not against dogs having sex with people.
Right.
Because if the dog is doing it, you're not hurting anybody.
Right.
I've been raped by a golden retriever. It's pretty awful.
Oh God.
Is there video, and where can I find it?
It depends on who's receiving. I think it disappeared.
Yeah.
Like instead of helping me while I'm screaming, please help, someone do something. My boyfriend decided to pull out his camera and just record.
That's a good boyfriend right there.
That's the new age right there, man.
Right, right.
The social media.
Oh my God, this dog is raping me. Hold on, babe. Hold on. Let me pick the filter. Let me pick my filter.
Yeah, it's like that guy that his wife was being mauled by a polar bear last year.
Right.
And he took a picture before he tried to help her.
Yeah, right.
His wife is being mauled by a polar bear, and he's all, I got to take a picture really fast. No joke.
Yeah,
that was real.
It's, hey, you're getting mauled by a picture, but first, by a polar bear. But first, let me take a selfie.
Around big dogs if I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah. Some dogs.
Did he wait? Hold on. Did he actually penetrate?
There wasn't actual penetration, but I was in a skirt, so it was.
Like
I don't
right
go into
there.
Details. It was just.
Well, no, I'm asking for details.
Yeah, I felt a little red
So
rocket
what
on
brand
my
of
thigh.
peanut
It
butter
was
did
pretty
you use?
awful, like
Tony.
What
brand of peanut butter? Everyone knows it's Jif. Come on.
Okay.
I'm all about the Peter Pan, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Crunchy or creamy?
Crunchy.
Nutty.
Come on.
She's all ar 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 ar. Okay.
I love it. And this is why we need Aisha back.
This is going to talk about getting raped by dogs.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know what, growing up as a kid, that little red penis coming out of the pocket was always a big no-no to the family, especially Mexican families were like, no, that's disgusting, that's dirty.
You make the dog go outside if they represent
or
that.
what my grandma used to do, we used to get a rubber band and shoot the poor dog's little red penis until it went in. Go, no, you go back in. And they'd get a rubber band and shoot it.
Ow!
Like just pop it over and over again with a rubber band?
Well, no. It would be a far away shot. So she'd have to be like she's like Legolas, from far away.
How was her aim?
Let's make a spectacle and abuse the dog.
Right? It's like let's you know what, dude? That's dog shaming.
But Mexicans. I don't know, Aisha, if you're true on Mexican. Mexicans are pretty rough with animals, especially the old school Mexicans. They don't look at dogs.
Our dogs are obedient because we beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's a lot different than today. Like nowadays, it's funny though how even Mexicans have changed to standards. My grandmother.
We use a squirt bottle in the newspaper now.
Yeah,
not a stick.
Right. Even my grandmother, who used to do that type of stuff, now she has like 50 stray dogs. She feeds all the cats in the neighborhood. And I'm like, what happened to the grandma that used to hate cats, used to grab a hose or her husband's like BB gun and shoot them down? Now she's taking them all in. People change. It's funny what old age does.
Yeah.
But I went this weekend to see, changing the subject to something a little more soft. I went to go see How to Train Your Dragon. And I'm like,
the second one.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah,
and
I went and saw it.
I've never been into the newer, like Disney, or the newer kid cartoons.
Right.
Yes, they make them a little more entertaining. But, I got to take my kid. My kid wants to see it, and, I go
Same
and take
reason
him.
I go.
And I sit down, and I actually enjoy it. Would I choose to watch that on my own? No. But because I'm with my kid, I end up enjoying it. And it's a decent movie. But, as I'm watching this, I sit back and realize how much A-list talent is now in these cartoon movies.
Well, even the shitty ones get good talent.
And it's not just one.
Like one or two people for the shitty movies.
Yeah, and with these big ones, it's not just one or two or three or four. It's like
what's in this movie?
Or the whole cast, like the whole leading cast, is all A-list celebrities. And Disney didn't used to be like that. They'd be lucky if they got two. Like Aladdin, for instance.
Yeah.
They got Tim Curry and Robin Williams. Set.
Yeah. Well, I actually brought that up in a discussion. Aladdin was actually the exact thing I went to. Remember how big of a deal it was when
they got
Robin Williams was cast in it? It was huge. It was all over the place.
Like
news.
everyone was watching it just for Genie.
Yeah.
Right.
And before then, they had remember, like, back if you watch, like, Jungle Book and you watch Sword in the Stone and the old school Disney cartoons, they all had, like, 4 or 5 rotating voice actors that they used in everything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Even in the Robin Hood, the cartoon version.
Well,
Disney, it's all the same. You can tell those same. Baloo was like Little John in Robin
Hood.
Half
of those voices are actually actors from Green Acres.
Were they?
Yeah.
Wow, didn't know. So there may be what, B, C list, so maybe back
At that
then?
point, they were more like D-list at that point, though, dude.
Were they?
Like, I mean, you got to think this is what, 20 years after Green Acres.
Yeah.
10, 20 years
they were
later,
just
they weren't doing
struggling for
shit.
cash.
They literally they needed to feed that coke habit, and so they had to do cartoon movies. And then, I mean, you look at I'm just looking at the list on How to Train Your Dragon 2, and just the first 7 people. You've got Jay Baruchel, Kate Blanchett, Gerard Butler, Craig Ferguson, America Ferrera, Jonah Hill, Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Jesus, live action movies don't even get that many A-listers these days.
Right? Then you have like Kristen Wiig in there. I mean, you have all of these people. It's crazy.
This is my whole point of this. Do you think do we need those A-lists to sell tickets to a cartoon? Like,
they're trying to promote it to be like, because movies like that, I know a lot of people like in my age group and my own friends that don't have kids. They don't have any reason to be liking or watching this shit. And they're like, oh my God, How to Train Your Dragon 2. I'm going to fucking see that shit.
Yeah.
And they're excited about it. And it's because of these A-list celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
totally. I don't hear many of them say that because they're not realizing that's where they want to watch it.
Right.
But that's totally what it is. And that's why they do it. They want to promote it to the adult market.
Yeah. See, because I don't think I would even go see a cartoon just because, let's say, let me see an actor what's an actor I really like? Bryan Cranston. I love him to death.
Okay.
I would not go see a cartoon only because he was the main voice actor. And it's odd to me that people do that. But it makes sense. If people are drawn because of these voice actors, then it makes sense that these movies are jam-packing, is that a word? Jam-packed these films with A-list talent. But imagine the budget on these movies if they didn't do that.
Well, hold on.
The budget would be almost nothing.
Are you gonna go see Kung Fu Panda 3?
No.
You're not? Are you
No.
sure?
No.
Are you sure? Because Bryan Cranston is Poe's father.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was also Vitaly on Madagascar 3. He played Jim Gordon in Batman Year One.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean he's done American Dad, he's done The Simpsons, he's done Robot Chicken, he's done The Cleveland Show. Like, he does a ton of voice acting. Like, and nobody even knows it, of course, but he does. He does a ton of it, man. It's kind of funny.
Who does?
That's Cranston.
Oh, really?
He was in Lilo and Stitch, the TV show.
And there you go. I follow his career, but for some reason I completely glaze over on the cartoons.
Well, why wouldn't you? He also was in the Clerks TV show, the animated show.
Yeah.
He was in that too. I mean, he's been in a ton of cartoons.
See, I think cartoons. Let's go back to Disney for a second. When I was a kid, I mean, dude, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin. I mean, the Gods one, Hercules. All these kid ones. They had a thing to them, and I thought they were pretty damn good, and they were appealing to everybody. Like, to this day, I remember songs, from Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast that you grew up with. I don't think the new Disney cartoons have that.
I mean, except for that stupid fucking Let It Go shit.
Let
it fucking go.
No.
Where's that from?
Frozen.
Yes.
Frozen has two songs that are huge.
I was going to bring that up. And
Yeah.
you know what? Back in the day, the last time they did that was with Angela Lansbury for Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time. Remember, that song was all over the radio.
Yeah, for sure.
Barely even friends. Then somebody bends. See, I'm a retard. I can't believe I even remember that song.
Oh, Mike, come on.
I haven't heard that song in 20 years.
Yes, you have. You listened to it
Yes,
yesterday.
on
Shut up.
Shuffle.
We all know you have.
That's your workout song right there. That's the song you go to the gym and you just hit Disney playlist.
It's Casey Kasem's son. Shuffle version.
The shuffle version.
Like we talked the last show.
So bad. So bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think cartoons personally are as interesting. And you know what? My kid doesn't like the old Disney ones. So maybe it's just I think a generational gap in what's entertaining possibly.
Well, I
also,
don't know.
he doesn't get 2D animation. The flat, the actual drawn. He doesn't get it. He says, "Why does it look like that?"
Because he's used to the 3D computer animated
and
stuff.
to me, I don't think there's as much talent in artistry in cartooning anymore.
Well, no, because it's all done by computers.
It's all CGI.
Yeah, it's all CG. It's not the same, man. It's not the same. Now, I mean,
The only animation is during storyboard these days.
right? True. No, it is. It is true. It is true. Now, I mean, you were talking about Aladdin, dude, and if you look at the voice cast on that, it's actually not as. It's not A-list. I mean, you had
not at all.
You had Robin Williams. You had Frank Welker, though, who's done voices for everything.
Right.
And
but
then-
who the hell is that, really?
Well,
You know what
anybody who follows cartoons knows who Frank Welker is.
Cartoons, though.
Right.
He's not an A-list guy who just did, Mission Impossible 3, and now he's
Right.
doing Madagascar 5.
But then you have Gilbert Gottfried in that. You remember?
Oh yeah.
As Iago,
he was pretty big. Yeah, and he got, dude. According to interviews, he got some fat paychecks, dude, on those.
Oh, I'm sure.
Still, well, 'cause
I'm
he
sure.
came back for the second one.
Yeah.
didn't he?
All of them. He came back for all of them.
They're getting paid for that shit.
Well, and it was what Scott Wanger was the voice of Aladdin. Like nobody ever remembers that.
He was
like
in Full House.
Yeah, he was. He was DJ's boyfriend on Full House was Aladdin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. This is our version of what is that?
Someday,
show?
Abu.
Yeah, someday, Abu. Someday. But he came back for every single one of the Disney Aladdin movies. Like he came back for all of them.
I'm sure he needed the work.
Yeah. What else is he gonna do?
The Neighbors.
He's lucky that we remember that he was in Full House.
Hey, we's too many. I did not remember that.
Oh, I was speaking for Brian.
Yeah.
Listen,
because I remember.
I know the tale is old as time song, but I do not remember that.
You don't remember Full House, dude?
I do.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Everybody remembers Full House.
You can watch it on Netflix. So stupid.
Yeah, I know. My
dude,
daughter. Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, every few months on the radio I'll bring up Netflix and what they're doing. I watched a show which is really good called Episodes on Showtime, which is Joey from Friends is the main star. He plays himself. He plays Matt LeBlanc.
Right.
And it's a brilliant show.
It
You
is.
wouldn't think
It's actually
it is,
really
but
good.
It's actually really well made.
Yeah.
And there's this one scene where this stupid bullshit producer of a TV show gets up and he's trying to pitch a new idea of what they're going to do for TV. He gets up there and he says, "Listen." He has the board with all the whiteboard with all the time slots and the TV shows are going in those time slots. And he says, "Guess what we're gonna do next season, everybody? And he starts ripping down the time slots. He's all, "There are no time slots. Who needs time slots? We're gonna play things. Guess what? You turn on the TV, you might see your favorite show, or you might not. There is no time slots." And basically he was pitching the Netflix idea, meaning. Because Netflix is what they're saying which is true. And they said in the next 5 to 10 years, there is going to be no, hey, Mondays at 7 p.m., check out Supernatural. Times aren't going to matter because we're all of us are watching pretty much, all these shows on different nights of the week.
That much. There's people that want it instantly when it airs and they watch it at that time. But for the most part, everyone has DVR nowadays.
Well, not just DVR.
In demand.
Even if you have on demand, you have DVR. And even if you don't, you just bootleg that shit 20 minutes after it ends.
We don't pirate here on this network.
Hey, you don't.
We don't pirate, we stream.
Yeah, I stream. I don't pirate it. I stream.
I borrow a stream. I borrow somebody's stream.
Yeah, exactly.
But so what Netflix is doing, that's what they've been preaching for a long time now. Hey, no time slots, no time slots, no time slots. On demand and binge watching is their thing. They always
That's why they released the whole season of House of House of Cards. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Or
all their shows.
Or Orange is the New Black, which came out second season. So good.
Well, they're doing something new finally.
They're not going to come back for another one.
Wait, what is it?
No, Orange is the New.
Really?
No. I heard that they have a third season already.
Well, I heard
Hold
that Netflix isn't going to renew their contract. They're trying to go for something less racy. I had seen a blip of an article about that. It could be false. I hope it's false.
I do too.
I
like.
It says actually 14 hours ago, Orange is the New Black Laura Prepone has confirmed that she will be back full time as Alex Voss in season 3.
Yes.
So season 3 is there.
Wait, who?
Laura Prepone. Donna from that 70s show.
You know what?
The really hot lesbian.
Yeah, you know what, dude? I usually don't like lesbian scenes in movies for one reason. I feel like it's being forced, and I don't feel like it's real. Like I don't believe they actually like the girl. Like it looks to me like they're not really believing it themselves. They're just going through the motions. And I feel like a lot of the lesbian scenes in TV today are contrived to get ratings because that's the thing.
Because they're not that good looking.
So stupid. However, it's one of the first Orange is the New Black is one of the first shows where I really like the relationship between the main girls. Like between I actually like their relationship. It's a real relationship. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And you don't know why you love the person. I think we've all been through relationships like that. And it's such a real relationship.
Well, Tony and I are in that right now.
So stupid. And them being females has nothing to do with it. There isn't any emphasis on the lesbianism.
No.
It's only emphasis on...
Yeah, it's just two people trying to be there for each other.
And that's why I like how that show is doing a lesbian relationship. He's not trying to exploit it. He's not trying to say, oh, lesbians, they're making out.
What they're really trying to get at with that is that in prison, no matter what your actual orientation is, depending on the amount of time you spend there, you just want the fucking closeness. You don't
Right.
care if you actually like bitches or not.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
you just want closeness.
With Orange is the New Black,
Yeah.
though, of course, they had their relationship before, and I think that's
no,
more
that's
what Mike's
why
talking about was that
it's so easy to get into their
right,
relationship.
but that fucked up aspect of the relationship from before they went to prison,
But like even Tasty and Pusey, like
right?
Oh, I like them too.
Yeah.
a
for
lot
real.
actually.
Yeah,
it's a great cast, man. But
is.
my favorite, we're getting way off subject here, but who cares? Kate Mulgrew is phenomenal, dude. Mrs. Columbo, Star Trek lady,
Yeah.
Captain Janeway, the Russian.
Yes,
great talent. Like I've always known she's good, but seeing her play something that she just a rough looking Russian woman. Holy hell, dude! Her acting chops.
all of the women in that show just they put a phenomenal amount of effort into their acting. Like
It's a good show.
I forget her name. It's like Crazy African, but the chick that plays Crazy Eyes.
Yeah. Oh God, she's great.
Phenomenal.
She is great,
such a good
especially if
actress.
you watch the behind the scenes and see
Yeah,
how
'cause she's
different
so
she is.
normal.
I know. It's so stupid. Like we think she should be crazy for real in real life because she's playing a crazy person.
Because when you see her just being herself in interviews and whatnot, she doesn't even have those like crazy eyes, and in the
Yeah.
show, she does that so well.
She's really good. So getting back to what we were talking about, Netflix is doing something totally different now with Chelsea Handler's new show, doing a talk show, which I've always had a thing for Chelsea Handler. I know a lot of people don't like her. They say she's too like pushy. Who did that one? Was that Tony or I?
Wasn't
That
me.
was me.
Oh.
I don't like her. She's too leathery.
A lot of women don't like her, which it's weird. Her fan base comes from somewhere. She's very successful.
My sister
Everyone
fucking loves her.
hating her.
No, my
Is that
my
what it is?
my sister loves Chelsea Handler.
You know what I like? I like her dry, bitchy sense of humor. I love bitchiness. It's a turn on for me, and I think that's why I like it. Like I love the bitchy, dry sense of humor. I'm like, oh yes, please keep being dry. I love that dry. Wait, that sounds wrong. Keep having that dry sense of humor and make fun of me, belittle me, please. Like I love it.
Mike, do you like having your testicles stomped on?
No, I'm not one of those guys. Ball busting.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Just put on the 8-inch stilettos tonight.
No, I mean, dude, I think she's a sexy woman, and I love sexy, comedic, funny women.
See, I think she looks like a dude.
You know what she has?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. She's not the most attractive woman out there. She's not.
Have you seen the porn?
It reminds me
Sexiness.
of what happens when a tranny doesn't get their hormones often enough.
You're ruining it for me.
Have you seen the porn that she was in, dude?
What?
What?
You guys didn't see
Is she
it?
in an interracial porn?
It's a porn. It
Is
was
there
at the
black
end. It was at the end of her. I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure it was a white dude. She was in a. It was her demo reel, and the very end of her demo reel is her getting drilled by some dude,
Really?
doggy style.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to do that face on?
Yeah.
Face on, face on, dude. Like they.
She's a paper bag bitch all the way.
I don't know. I think there's something. I don't know what it is. There's something sexy about it. I don't think she's an attractive woman. She's probably like a
'Cause
5.
She takes it up the ass.
Oh Jesus!
One bag or two bag?
Why does your mic sound like you're underwater? I need to fix it in a minute.
Boom.
Anyways, so she has they're changing their whole binge watching slogan now because they're doing a talk show that's not going to be available on binge watching. It's going to be on demand. And what they're saying now in these articles I was reading is that, hey, this is our first step into a talk format type show that'll be available every day, whenever. It's not going to be a binge watching show. It'll be, I mean, obviously you can have a build up of 5 or 6 episodes and binge watch it, but they're going to be releasing new talk show, new episodes every night. And I think it's interesting now that, you're no longer going to have to compete with the late night Jimmy Kimmel and Letterman and Jimmy Fallon. Now you can just say, hey, listen, I'm going to do a talk show on demand. And you know what? You may find your own market that way, your own niche. It might work. So I think what Netflix is doing, their whole business structure is admirable. I mean, what they've done to entertainment is phenomenal.
No, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I think Netflix is one of those things where they killed Blockbuster.
Oh, dude.
They destroyed it.
Blockbuster killed themselves, too. They refused to change.
It's true.
I mean,
but
they did put one of those little Blockbuster, like,
the
kiosks
boxes
at the last minute. Like, we can do it, too, guys. We can
right.
do it,
Well,
too.
I mean, but honestly, I think Netflix has almost taken Redbox out of the equation, too.
Yeah.
They really have.
Well, because everything that you can get out of the Redbox, if you have HBO or HBO Go, you can watch it on.
Right. Well, and that's what I mean. Like, and essentially, not only that, but Netflix is why you have HBO Go. Yeah. HBO Go wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Netflix. All of the on-demand programming we have now from all of the cable stations would not exist if they weren't trying to keep up with Netflix.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. Netflix changed the way we watch television.
It did, definitely, and I think it's going to continue to be. I mean, dude, if it's not considered a top network yet, it will be in the next 5 to 10 years if they continue to do what they're doing and continue to put those original programming out. Which is funny because the only reason why they started doing original programming was because they got the axe. They used to premiere. They had a deal with Stars,
right?
And they put all their dollars. They put a large sum of their budget each year into this contract with Stars, where hey, on the same day that an episode comes out on Stars, your favorite show, you're going to be able to watch it on Netflix. That was their thing. Stars said, F you guys, we don't want to pay you what you want. So long. So instead of trying to buy another deal, there was a rumor they were going to work with HBO for some time, then Showtime. And then all of a sudden, the CEO said, why are we worrying about linking up with a network when we could be our own network?
Right.
And that's when the whole House of Cards thing came up. They made a deal with Kevin Spacey and his production company, and then Eli Roth with their horror film they did, and then Arrested Development came along, and now now they have deals with Marvel and Star Wars, and it's just, dude,
it's huge.
They're gonna run shit, dude, in the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, I mean, when you look at just the Marvel Star Wars thing, that's Disney.
Yeah,
they have a deal with Disney.
Huge.
They win.
Yeah.
Like, they win. If we get Netflix porn, everyone else is dead.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I mean, think about this.
They actually have that already.
But, I mean, I'm just saying, like, what was it that won the VHS Betamax war?
Was it porn?
Porn went VHS instead of
really?
Beta. That's why
that.
VHS won. Flat out. No, there's no question there. VHS won because it's subpar. Quality-wise to Beta. Beta is better quality.
It's just not as compact.
But the thing is, VHS won because the big porn houses decided VHS is cheaper to make.
Yeah.
And so they went with VHS to keep production costs down.
All right, on that note, we got to go to a quick break. We're going to come back, jump into a few more topics, and in about, 15, 20 minutes, we have that interview with Fred Estby from the Dagger. Don't go nowhere.
The universe of Rain Man never stops. Bookmark rainmanwashhere.com/rainmanchannel001. Listen to the current week's show on replay anytime on the 24-hour channel. Rain Man Channel 001.
I thought they just go to Chatterbait, dude.
Really?
Trust me, go to Chatterbait.
Really?
Chatterbait.
Greatest thing ever. I stumbled upon webcamming by accident. In a lot of ways, it's a little more hotter than regular porn.
I love the amateurness.
Yeah,
that's what gets me off.
And the fact knowing that those girls are live and they're like maybe
at the same time,
like only 400 miles away,
right.
someplace, it ups the creep factor by 100%.
It really does. It really does. But at the same time, it's kind of hot. You're like, oh my god, they're naked and I'm naked at the same time.
Well, I don't get naked. Do you take off all your clothes,
bro?
You take off your shirt, you fold it really nice on the bed. Like, okay, I'm gonna get ready.
No, dude.
Relive your favorite moments with shows from the archives and be entertained.
This time you did it. Are you doing it when you're driving, from a 9 to 5 job?
Right now?
Do you do it when you drive?
I'm not driving.
Do you do it when you drive a 9 to 5 job, or do you do it when you're going out of town?
No, I sit in traffic for an hour every day to and from work.
And you just master.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So what do you think of? Do you think of something, or do you look at something? You pull some porn up on your phone?
I've done that. I've pulled porn up on my phone. Sometimes I just
That's
fantasize
amazing.
in my brain. Yeah.
I think it just moved a little bit.
Bookmark rainmanwashere.com/rainmanchannel001. And look for the Rain Man app coming soon to your app store.
All right. AdamandEve.com. AdamandEve.com. Right now, Adam and Eve is doing a 50% off, not 50% off any item in their catalog. Almost. Actually, they say almost any item, so I don't know what that means. Maybe they have some lubrication that may or may not be 50% off, but they say 50% off almost everything in their shelves. And when you buy that 50% off item, you get 3 free DVDs. 3 free DVDs. Pornography, Brian.
Pornography.
3 free DVDs, plus an extra gift so sensual They say you can't talk about it on the radio. However, again, they probably have never listened to the show before because you can pretty much say whatever.
It's true. We can, and also just so you guys know, if you sign up your email address, they'll also give you $10 off instantly.
Oh.
Right? And right now they're doing a special on bridal gifts because
All right.
they've got your honeymoon covered.
All right. I like it. Let's see what the dolphin says.
The dolphin says nothing. He's too busy perusing the DVDs.
So stupid.
He's like, oh my God, MTV's Mom is back for more Backdoor Bliss.
Oh. So if you order now, 50% off any item, 3 free DVDs, plus an extra gift, and free shipping. So pretty much you're just buying that 50% off item. Go over to adameve.com right now, and don't forget to enter Deal 30. That is our personalized code for Rain Man. Deal 30. And take advantage of this offer. Help us out.
I'll be there later.
And now, Mark McGuire cries about doing steroids.
I wish it never came into my life, but we're sitting here talking about it. I'm so sorry that I have to. And I apologize to everybody in Major League Baseball. My family, the Marises, but Selig. Today was the hardest day of my life.
Are you crying?
Just been holding this in.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
Oh, God, that's funny. Oh, that's good stuff.
Hey, Mark, there's no crying in baseball. The Rain Man Show. Calling you like we see it. You're listening to The Rain Man Show on Rain Man Digital.
We're back. Rain Man Digital, RainManWhenHere.com. I have an interview, a couple interviews coming up. Actually, one coming up tonight. Fred Estby coming up in about, I'd say, 15 minutes. And then we have, next week, we have one with Joe Lansdale. Dude, that guy is a legend. A legend. I had no idea how many things he's done, because I've read several of his books. And then, like, the guy, just did a movie with, he wrote the movie for Cold in July with Michael C. Hall and Sam Shepard and Don Johnson. He's working on a movie right now with Bill Paxton. It's funny because he did a series of Jonah Hex. He also just did the Son of Batman, the animation that's huge right now.
He's done a ton of DC animation, but I think the best thing, dude, is he did Bubba Hotep.
Yes.
Like, come on,
I was about to, you just killed it for me.
No, fuck off. Bubba Hotep, dude. I don't care. I will steal the shit out of that every time.
Bubba Hotep. They're working on a prequel right now of that.
I know. I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
Super stoked.
So dude, I'm really looking forward to talking to him and sharing with everybody his wealth of knowledge, and I'm sure he's an interesting man. So we have that to look forward to. Also, I have Sarah Ross, former American Idol contestant, the following week. She's really getting popular and really big. She's a country rap artist. It's kind of weird, dude, because that whole it's called hip hop. Yeah, it's called hip hop, and that's kind of what it's getting. It's been around forever, dude, but they're getting it's getting bigger and bigger.
Country being done as poetry.
Okay, there you go. That sounds more uppy. Look at you upping it up. I think they would like that. So, that Justin Bieber, racist Justin Bieber was a huge hit as well.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought I was going to get, hell unleashed on me for that. I got, at least 3 emails on that, plus some tweets, so it was pretty good. I'm going to play it just because it was requested. Then it's going to be on rotation on the channel. So if you missed it last week, I'm going to go ahead and play it right now for you guys. So bear with me here. If you're easily offended, do not continue to listen. So dumb. It's not even that bad. Here we go.
Said I really like to swipe on you. Chilling by the fire while we eating fondue. I don't know about me, but I know about you.
I have to make a segue now to Justin Bieber.
Oh, goodness.
Because some new stuff has come out about some silly stuff that he said.
Yeah, and this happened apparently 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where he told a racist joke on camera, knew that the camera was rolling, told the joke, thought it was funny at the time, and now today the video has surfaced.
That's just straight.
Why are black people afraid of chainsaws?
Don't even say it. Don't say
Run,
it.
nigga, nigga, nigga.
You can
That's
say
a good one.
motorcycle too, right?
This summer, he's back. Just when you thought it was safe to stay out late, Jason has returned, and he's better than ever. But this time, in his award-winning performance, Justin Bieber puts on the mask.
Run, nigga, nigga, nigga. Run, nigga, nigga, nigga. Run, nigga, nigga. Run, nigga, nigga, nigga.
Don't stay out late because racist Bieber is here to kill you. If you're not white.
Run, nigga, nigga, nigga.
He's small. He's a douche. He's racist Jason Justin Bieber. And he's here to kill you.
Run, nigga, nigga, nigga.
If you're not white.
Rated X.
At least this time the listeners were able to listen because, dude, Brian was dying on the other thing.
It was so bad.
Like, why don't you guys mute the mics? I'm like, no, because it's better if you guys get the reaction. I mean, that was your first original reaction from Brian. It was freaking priceless.
Oh my god, I was dying.
Like after the show, Maggie's all like, "What was Brian laughing that hard about?" I shook the walls, and I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, I did the Eddie Murphy laugh.
Well,
It was
you
pretty
and
bad.
Greg love you
Same.
guys like racist jokes. I mean, who doesn't like a good, racist joke within good taste?
It's a fucking joke,
right?
Like it's a joke.
And I
dude.
only used the words he used. I didn't say it myself.
No.
I used, and again, I'm playing on the fact that Justin Bieber's a douche, and he's making a douchey joke that is childish and yet was kind of funny.
He was fucking 12 years old, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
come on.
You could hear his balls were still up in his
Yo,
stomach
he
a
still
little
sounds
bit when
like
he
that.
said that.
He still sounds like
Okay.
that.
He sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Well, I think they give him hormones to prolong his second puberty of becoming a man, so that way they can keep him singing.
Wait, do we have two puberties, Mike? Is that a thing?
Yes.
We
It's
do?
kind of like second lunch
It's
for the
mostly
hobbits.
a mental thing.
Is that like fourth
and then your dick
breakfast?
Gets a little bigger.
Wait, what? I can't wait till I go through second puberty so my dick gets bigger. It's gonna be great.
I'm still waiting then.
I know, right?
So stupid.
I'm 32.
Maybe I'll have a third puberty. That'll be even better.
Right? Right? No, the third puberty is when you become an old man and your balls just hang down to your
You should first puberty.
I worked at the gym a few years back, dude. Old guys just don't give a shit.
No, they
And
don't.
Dude, one guy, I was appalled. I knew guys as you get older.
Yeah, your shit hangs low.
Yeah, I knew that. But I walked in once, I'm like, checking on my gym. I had to make sure everything was cleaned up, make sure that, there was no shit in the locker room. And I walk in, and this guy, I'm not joking, this guy's balls, dude, were down to his shins. I am not joking.
Was he bending
dude.
over?
No, he was crouched down walking like an old man. So maybe that gave him a little bit of hangage.
Jeez.
But, dude, why do you sound all distorted again?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
He
You're in a
does.
separate dimension this evening. Get over it.
Yeah, it is what it is. He only says a word like every 10 minutes. It's fine.
What?
Let him podcast from the Twilight Zone. It's okay.
Yes. Hello?
Why does it sound like it wasn't sounding like that?
Say fisting Helen Keller while eating pancakes.
Talk to me, Tony.
Fisting Helen Keller while eating pancakes.
He still sounds like he's in a fucking tunnel, man.
Didn't it sound great a minute ago?
Yeah.
Talk to me again.
What?
Talk to me for a second. I'm gonna
Okay.
fix this.
You know that Braille's overrated.
Oh my god, he still sounds awful. No, dude. There's no way. I haven't been anywhere near it.
Okay. This is how Filipinos sound like?
It's still not right. Say Cowboy Troy,
Cowboy Troy,
Big and Rich,
Big and Rich,
Colt Ford,
Colt Ford,
The Lax,
The Lax.
Lenny Cooper.
Who are these guys?
It's a bunch of country rap people.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just not talk at all. No. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
You're
Did you
hearing
take all the bass out of it? Yeah, because that's what it was. His bass was just way loud. It's Tony's voice, dude. It goes through changes halfway through the show. I dealt with it all the time.
All right, here we go. And pause for a second. And so, no, really, it was weird because I walked into the gym and the guy's balls. I was kind of confused at first. I didn't think it was real. I thought he was holding like a gym bag or something.
Dude, that's like
But
the smallest gym bag ever.
Yeah, I really did. It was
How old was
stupid.
the guy?
He was probably 60, maybe early 70s.
Dude, that's
maybe.
not that old though. That's
what I'm
not that
saying,
old. Like I'm
you
thinking
should
he's
still
like
have
80
some
or
elasticity
90.
in that sack.
Elasticity?
Maybe that's the word I was looking for, and I couldn't say it. But yeah, I mean, isn't that what you should? I mean, you should, right? There has to be a problem with him, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was just one of those guys. That's
Especially
like,
when he's
wait,
putting
hold
on
on.
his
He probably likes ball.
No. Like, you know those... Jesus Christ.
Well, I heard that if you tug on your balls a lot, that does have an old age. Like, if you grab your balls and scratch them a lot, you're going to start bringing them down even more.
I guess.
So
Well, it's kind of like women that never wear a bra. Like, this dude just must have rocked the fucking commando look for
Dice.
years.
Right.
Yeah, for years. Just rocking that commando
That
look.
makes sense.
And then his fucking nuts just slowly crept down.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Jesus, dude.
Goes
Could you
down the
imagine...
pant leg.
Mike, could you imagine, like, trying to take a piss and you, like... have to hold your nuts up.
That'd be miserable. What kind of life is that? Just cut them off. You don't need them, because I'm very Irish. I have like little moles that pop up.
Right.
Well, not new ones, but as a kid. And they always, there's an old Mexican thing, just take a piece of string, tie it tight, and the next day it just falls off because it dies. Just do that with your balls. Just take, some floss, tie it around your balls, and by the next day it should just fall off, right?
Maybe
I don't think it works that way,
Small
man.
enough just to like hold the balls up.
Just wear like fucking compression shorts all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's awful.
But anyway, so this whole IRS scandal thing says, Lois Lerner's email is lost forever. That's the statement they actually gave on trial.
To Congress.
To Congress, they put, our emails are lost forever. Like, what are we, infants? Are we stupid?
Well, here's the thing. They said that her hard drive crashed, right?
Right.
Now, the emails in question are the ones between her and the president. Okay? Those are the emails that they want to see. Go to the president's computer. Like, they're still there.
No.
Like,
they're erased. Erased from existence.
Right, of course, because...
how convenient that it gets
exactly.
erased.
It's kind of like the whole Benghazi thing. She passed out and now can't testify. Like,
What kind? Doesn't it scare you? Let's say, for example, they're right. Let's say, yes, her emails are lost forever in the world of web. Okay, it's just lost in the nether regions of the internet. Okay, now what's scarier? I'd rather them be lying, knowing that they're that incompetent, that they lost emails and then they can't recover. In this day and age, you can recover anything. I lost $75,000 worth of video footage 3 years ago. If you guys remember, I don't know if I knew.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, you know how much money I had to spend to recover it? I spent $7,000 to recover. It was so much money, but it was worth it.
Right.
So if I can recover something that they said, I sent it to 2 places. Each of them said, dude, it's unrecoverable. We can't get it. So I kept going, kept shopping, found a place they can do it. They said, we can do it. It's going to cost you $7,000
This is
to pull
the
these
United
files.
States government, first of all. This is the IRS. And from an IT standpoint, if you don't have some sort of even from my company standpoint, because we deal with a lot of legal records, we have to have contingency plans
here's the
for
thing.
backup.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because Sonasoft does the backups for the IRS, and that's known because...
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't, dude.
Well, obviously not. But no, Sonasoft, what was it, back in 2009, tweeted...
We have monkeys running our government, for fuck's sake, dude.
Straight up. They said in 2009, the company actually tweeted, the IRS uses Sonasoft to back up their servers. Why wouldn't you choose them to protect yours?
Yeah.
Like, they use that as a selling point for the fucking company. And the emails in question are between 2009 and 2011. It's the Tea Party targeting scandal.
That's just a tagline they're going to have. They're lost forever. They have no way to explain it. And they're smart enough to realize that the public's going to say that's bullshit.
Well, no, I don't think the public isn't smart enough to say that, because the public's going to say, "Oh, it seems about right. I remember that one time that I couldn't find that email that Grandma sent me." Like,
depending on what side of the political aisle you sit on.
Well, here's the thing: it doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you sit on. The general public is fucking retarded.
Yes,
they are. They're just dumb.
I'll give you that.
They're dumb, dude. They will buy anything. Yeah. Anything that the government tells them.
The mass populace
they will.
In a shroud of retardation.
It is, because it's easier to just go with it than it is to question it.
Yeah.
Because questioning it means you actually have to think. You have to have a thought. And people don't think anymore.
I'll take it one step further. If you question it, they'll think that you're like some sort of kook.
Well, you're a terrorist.
Right? Yeah.
You're a fucking terrorist and a conspiracy theorist if you fucking question it.
A lot of people don't want to fully know. Like, a lot of people know they're being fed lies from the government and whatnot.
Right.
But they don't want to really know. They don't want to know the truth. Like,
No, of course not.
In their ignorant bliss.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Because exactly, Michael. They're retarded.
Yeah,
but,
so Congress can bitch and scream and chastise the IRS, but in reality, you're right, Brian. The majority of
you know what I would do?
The majority of Americans won't give a fuck.
If I was Congress, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. You guys can't recover it. It's unrecoverable. It's lost. Let us send in our own hard drive recovery team. some
MI5?
crackpot team. Yeah, let's bring in MI5, have them take care of it, and I guarantee you they'll be able to find it. That's what I would think. I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't say, "Hey, listen here, Lady Lois Lerner, you did what? Okay, no problem. You're telling us on oath. You're telling you can't recover it. We're going to go in and send some people in to recover it for you."
Right. Well, not only that, dude. Not only that, but the IRS has said that they lost emails from 6 other people. Now, how many people work at the IRS? Like
a lot,
right?
More than they even need.
So 7.
They don't even need an IRS.
So of everyone that works at the IRS, we only lost 7 people's emails. How fucking convenient can you be?
It's like the whole Benghazi thing. Whether you think it's a conspiracy theory or not, the fact that Hillary Clinton had a serious brain issue. Remember the day she was going on to trial, she couldn't go.
She passed out.
Yeah. Oh, they
erased her hard drive.
It's so dumb.
She suffered memento.
Back up from the mic a little bit. But yeah, I mean, they're so like it. You know how when you're a kid, like you always tell your friend to come up with the most elaborate lie so it seems legit. Don't come up with a lie that someone can see through. It's like the U.S. government. If they're going to lie to us, can you at least hire some writers? Hire Ridley Scott. Write a damn good story plot that we're going to fucking believe.
Bring the guys back that gave us the moon landing.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I mean, if we're going to jump into conspiracy land. Right, Wag the Dog. Love that movie. So good. So good. But I don't know, man. The whole thing's just fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Like, it's just ridiculous. You've got the whole thing with the IRS, and then you have, Joe Biden this week at that. Did you hear the shit about Biden? So Biden comes out, and they're at the White House Summit on Working Families, right? And he's the keynote speaker, whatever. And he admits that he is the quote-unquote poorest member of Congress over his 4-decade career. And he says, I have no savings account, but I have a great pension and a great salary. This motherfucker is literally planning on living off of his pension from being vice president. Now, I think the most telling fact here is that between Biden and Obama, there is a $5 million transition budget for them to move out of the White House. $5 million.
Yeah, because you need that much to move cross country or wherever the fuck you're going to end up retiring.
Right. Now, it covers their expenses for moving out, but it also covers that Secret Service protection they get for a couple years.
No, they get that for a lifetime, dude.
No, the president gets it for life.
Is it going to go to
his family? His family.
I don't think the vice president
Is it going to go to Obama's presidential library when he's long gone?
Obama's presidential library will have one book in it and one book alone, and that is Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Ooh.
You blew it!
You know what? They'll
Where's the dolphin, Mike? The dolphin needs a ring.
That library in Chicago.
Whoa.
Wait, what did you say?
Tony said something about Chicago and black people in libraries. I don't know.
Dude, they've gone too far. Too far, Tony.
Too far, Tony's back.
He's made. He
like you actually think Chicago's going to need a library.
Hold on a second, dude.
This is what happens when you fix Tony's mic. This is so bad.
Well, no, I take that back. They will need a library as long as there's Ebonics in it.
Tony, this isn't Detroit. It's Chicago.
They'll probably find Hillary's hard drive in there probably 10 years from now.
No, what they'll find is Hillary's dick.
We need an intermission.
She keeps that in her pocket.
We need an intermission here. We need to have Flipper come in. I think I'm going to sign Flipper to just Tony from now on. Like, he is now your friend only.
Yeah, well, I'll just eat him.
As long as you don't masturbate.
Tony's like, I don't eat dolphin safe tuna. I just eat dolphin.
Yeah. It's a common delicacy in the Philippines.
When you eat them, do you gain their knowledge?
So what is this, freaking zombies? All right.
McFlippers?
McFlippers? What is this when McDonald's decides that they're just going to fucking kill everything?
What do you think the fish fillet is?
The fish fillet isn't even fucking seafood, Tony.
It's pure dolphin.
The fish fillet is pure dolphin.
All right. So we have Fred Estby calling right now. So we have to go. And then we'll be right back with Fred Estby. Don't go nowhere. Enjoy a single from their latest album. on the line, I have Fred Estby from The Dagger. On July 22nd, The Dagger, Sweden's rising heavy metal hard rock force, will release their self-titled debut via Century Media Records in North America. Now, Fred, but now, how did the new band form, and who had the masterful idea to get this band going?
Well, you know, I did this band project, whatever, called Necronaut after I quit Dismember. And I had so much material. I was writing so much. I was actually writing for the last Dismember album too. And when I decided that I was not going to be in the band, I told the guys that you could use my songs if you want to, or if you don't, I will use them by myself for some other reasons. And I did with the Necronaut, but I also did, while doing that, I was kind of productive writing songs, and I had a lot of material that did not really fit for Necronaut. And I thought that this is more, you know, classic hard rock. This is not so heavy, not so dark, you know. This is more like the old 70s stuff. And it was keep coming to me, and I had David Blomqvist as a guest solo. He was putting down some guitar leads, you know, solos for the Necronaut album, and I told him about this, and I was like, listen to this, I mean, I would like to do something with this. And then he said that, well, I got a lot of music too that I never used for Dismember, and it sounds kind of similar to how I was sitting thinking and not really being able to do anything with this material, so maybe we should try to do something. And then he also told me that Tobias, who was in Dismember and Grave, he was actually also writing material that he couldn't use in any of the death metal bands. So we got together, the three of us, and compared, you know, songs and stuff, and we felt that, wow, this could be good. So we started just jamming, the three of us.
That's awesome. That's awesome how things work out. Now, Necronaut, that was your solo, right? That was your solo, your solo career for a while, because you quit. You left Dismember, I believe, what was it, the early 2000s? Is my notes correct? And then you kind of went on hiatus for a while and then did Necronaut, correct?
Yeah, 2007 I left Dismember, and I released the Necronaut album in 2010.
Now, what was the reason for leaving Dismember? Was it just was there differences in band, like in ideas of where you want to take the band, or was it just personal reasons, just kind of want to do other things in life?
At first, you know, I had been driving that band kind of, you know, I was booking the shows myself. I was almost a manager for the band, as well as playing drums, writing music, writing lyrics. And it was fun, producing the albums, recording the albums and everything. And it took, you know, it was quite a workload. And I like that kind of workload. I make that bed for myself, so it's no one else to blame. But I was, you know, it was the touring that took the toll on me, because my kids were kind of young then, you know, and I had been on the road quite a lot since all the kids had been small and everything. And, you know, I felt also that doing the death metal thing, it was fun, and festivals fine. You could do some club tours, but when you live from it, you really have to work it hard, and it was a lot of competition. Not all the tours were easy to break financially, you know, and that was kind of tough. And also, like, many shady promoters in the metal scene, you know, that you think are going to be okay, and then they show the real face, and you have to fight to get your money and to put money, like food on the table, you know. So it was a lot of hassle with that. So I needed a break from the roads and everything, and just take it easy, being soccer trainer for my kids, you know, and be more around them and so on. So I needed a break, but then I realized that I'm never going to be able not to write music, not to play music, because I got almost depressed because I didn't play or write anything. So that's how the Necronaut started.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, when you have a creative spirit like yourself, was it hard leaving something like Dismember, you know, something that you put your heart and soul into? I'm sure it wasn't just an easy decision. Yes, family makes it easier because you put your priorities first. The touring was taking a toll, but did it hurt a little bit having to let it go? And then, how does it feel starting off with something new again, like almost like you're starting over?
It hurt like hell, because I was, you know, it was my, you know, I started that band with David, you know, back in '88, you know, and it's like, it's kind of hard also to be kind of captain on the ship and then say that, I need to get a break, but if you guys want to go on, you have my blessing and do it. But of course it hurts. But then again, one thing was really good, and when I landed in it and felt kind of, I worked it through and everything. I think it was good for me because I could do. I didn't have any frames for what I needed to do musically. So with the Necronaut, I could ask any singer to be on that album, and it's just my songs. I'm the only one to blame if something doesn't go well. And also I decide everything. So it was kind of fun to do everything from scratch, just myself, playing all the instruments myself in the pace I wanted.
That gets a little scary, though, because I know someone like myself, when something does go wrong, I like to accept blame, but you always like that buffer. You can be like, hey, listen, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. But when you do a solo project like Necronaut, I mean, you're the sole person making decisions, and it all falls on you. That's a whole other type of stress. I can imagine that.
Yeah, and the worst part with it was that sitting alone in the studio and going like, "This is great, huh?" and no one's answering. You're like, "Oh yeah, I'm by myself here. I forgot about that."
That's so funny. That's so true, man. I mean, and you do need that buffer as a creative artist. You need that buffer sometimes. Sometimes it always helps to have those people in the group to be like, I don't know about that, Fred. That might not be the best, the best lyrics.
Exactly.
So
exactly, you need some officers to check your grounds because I'm also like that. I try to be very self-critical so that I won't release any crap. But I mean, through the Dismember years, when I look back at that back catalog, I mean, it's good, but there are some songs that I think are kind of fillers, and everything, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, the classic hard rock albums, they had good songs straight through. I think that's a very very good aim to have, to make sure that if you're going to put out an album, it has to be somewhat diverse, but it has to be solid too, and it has to have the quality throughout all the songs. Otherwise, it's not a good album.
Yeah. Now, being your own critic, do you find that also kind of detrimental sometimes to yourself, to the creative process? Do you find yourself maybe writing something for weeks on end, and then completely, have you done that where you write something for weeks on end and then you end up trashing it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Many times. I mean,
what makes you
especially with
decide
the Necronaut album, I mean, that was so, because that was I was like, okay, this is good. And then I was like, no, it's not. It's not good. And I have to check myself all the time,
Yeah. What about you're married, right? At that time during Necronaut, what about your wife? Is she a good judge of music? Can she be like, no, hon, this sucks?
No whatsoever. And she was hating the time because I started a studio too with Nicky Anderson in 2008 because I was going to record a Necronaut album. I actually started around 2007. And I was going to record, and I was looking for studios that weren't too expensive, and I was like, oh, but I'm going to record with someone else, only me, this is going to be a hassle, this is going to take too long, it's going to cost me too much. And then Nicky was leaving breaking up the Helicopters at the time, and he told me well, I'm having the same problem here. I'm going to different studios to make some own songs by myself and everything. It's so fucking expensive, so why don't we just buy gear and have it at home and try to record ourselves that way? You have the experience. I can get the connections for good prices for gear and everything. So that's how we did it. So I had the mixing studio in my apartment at the time. So my then wife was not so happy about it because I was every spare time I had, I was in the studio working on the Necronaut album, and loud guitars in the evening, I mean, I can totally understand it was a drag,
That's the curse of having studios in your home, because I have a sound studio in my home. I've completely built out an entire sound studio for radio and for sound design for film. And, yes, at first you're like, oh, this is a great idea. I can work from home. And then you find yourself, when you have that personality of being a workaholic, you find that every chance you get, you're in the studio working, even when you shouldn't be working. It's Christmas Eve, and you're like, I'm going to go ahead and tweak a couple sounds here and fix a few things. And it ends up being a curse and the bane of existence on yourself and your family.
Absolutely. You're totally right. And that's how it gets. And then you're like, I'm just going to send these files. And oh, I have to check this, and then you realize you've been sitting there all night,
Yeah.
It's convenient in one way, but it's very inconvenient in another way. Yeah. And also one thing that I was because I was also doing a lot of recording at home, and even though I only work with people that I like, I wouldn't work with like douchebags and
Right.
everything, but still having people in your home all the time.
Yeah.
It gets kind of inconvenient too, you know.
Oh, for sure. Especially if you have the kids running around and you're in the middle of recording and they come running in, telling on each other, the dog's barking.
but I used the kids though for the recording on one of the songs.
Oh, did
because
you?
I read, because I read this Kiss article. I mean, since I'm a big Kiss fan, and you know the sounds on the song "God of Thunder." If you're familiar with that one, there's like kids in the background doing weird noises. And I read this article on Bob Ezrin, and he told the journalist that he brought his kids into the studio one day, and they had seen the first Star Wars movie, which was coming out. And the source at the time, in '76 or whatever, it was filled with like paraphernalia from the movie. So he bought the kids like a stormtrooper helmet, and that's the sound that they're actually doing in the background on that song. And my kids were like Star Wars fans of the new generation of films. So one of the kids actually got like a new clone trooper helmet for Christmas. So I did the same thing. So I gave them that helmet. I was like, so just run around in the studio and make some noise with that helmet. And then I recorded that and used it in one of the songs.
That's awesome. What song did you use it in? What is it on is it on the new album?
No, it's on the Necronaut album.
What's the name of the song?
Let's see. A long time ago. It's the one that Nicky Anderson sings on.
Okay. I think I have it here. So all right, I'll take a look at it later. But that's interesting, man. I love that. That's the best thing about working with sounds, especially with sound design for film. And you can get there and sit down and you experiment, and you never know what you can get. You never know by just messing around with little things, odds and ends stuff. I mean, I've made sounds for film using vacuum pipes and weird tapping sounds and just odd little things that you would never think would work. And you just you get your mic set up, you know, you start messing around and seeing what sounds good. You always push record.
Yeah. Exactly.
You never
That's
want to miss
so
out.
interesting that you're doing film sound. That's awesome. That's something I would be really interested in.
It's really fun, man. I mean,
I can imagine.
it gets tedious, but you get to the experimentation process is the fun part, where you never know what you can do to create the sound that you need. You know? So
it must be such a challenge, but still such satisfaction when you get the right sound.
Oh yeah. Now moving on to Century Media Records, they're doing wonders right now within the heavy metal hard rock scene. I mean, they really are. They're one of the few labels. There's about 3 or 4 in my hand I can count on my hand that are independent / mainstream, because they're in between mainstream and independent. Now, how did you get hooked up with them?
Well, you know, since the death metal days, the heydays in early '90s, we met these people throughout the years at shows and everything. Metal scene in Europe is not that big, you know. It's like, and especially when a label like Century Media, they've had sort of the same staff since we got to know them in the early '90s, and I think that's impressive.
Yeah.
Second of all, they've always been really nice, very good sense of humor, really like, you know, calm, not stressful, never like pissed off. You don't have any like arguments really, because they totally understand the artistic perspective,
right?
Which many labels don't really, because they think that they know better because they're dealing with their side of the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, you should leave the artists their freedom of creating, because otherwise it's going to be I'm not really sure that the label should be involved in the creative process that much, you know. And I think they're really good with that. And third of all, they love the music, you know. Straight away, they were like, "Oh, we love this," and they have put out many good releases. The last, I mean, as long as they've existed, but mainly I think like the last 5 to 10 years, I think they're doing a really, really good job.
Yes, they are.
And like even like in the U.S., in South America, you know, in territories where we actually didn't really, when we were touring with Dismember, we were like, oh, Century Media is a shit. They're actually getting their bands out there, you know.
It's fascinating watching them work. A label, you can always tell when a record label's doing the right thing. And number one, they're professional. I've dealt with so many record labels. Just from a PR standpoint, Century Media is so professional. And I've dealt with countless record labels for interviews and so on. And they're always, not all of them are they're very rude. They're very just straight to the point. What do you want from me? And I'm like, well, I want to interview one of your artists first off. I'm like, I'm like, isn't that a good thing? Why are you treating me like an asshole?
Exactly.
And Century Media is so great. And I will continue to work. I've worked with them now for a couple years, and I will always work with them because they're just a fabulous company. And the fact that, and the artists, I mean, they put so much interest and care into packaging the artists.
Yeah.
And it's interesting hearing that as well from the artist standpoint, because I've never actually asked that, how they treat you guys. And based on what you just said, they treat you guys well. They don't interfere. They let you guys do your thing.
Yeah, and they're very, I like their, like you say too, very professional, and also very, it's so, it's so gratifying to work with them, because they're like, oh, can you do this? And it's like, yeah, no problem. And, oh, that's awesome. They're so positive about everything, and they're asking every interview. They're like, how were the interviews yesterday? It's not like they just throw it out there and make it seem that they really care.
Yeah.
How it goes.
But that's the demise of the record and of the music industry too. That's because people didn't care. All they cared about, I mean, let's be honest, we all care about money, but when money becomes the number one basis for all decisions, what happens is you get what you get now. You get the record industry, a greedy industry that became what it is. It's pretty much non-existent.
Exactly. And a dying dinosaur that is pissed off and bitter about not doing the right choices when they should have.
Exactly.
They should have been on the fucking ball when the digital revolution came. They were not, and it's their fault, and they are the ones actually making the bands now pay for that mistake.
Yeah.
Which is so wrong, I think. The bands and the artists of today are paying for the mistakes that the bigger record labels made, because they were too lazy, they were too rich, they were too convenient, and now they have to... I mean, people working on record labels, I can understand sometimes that, like, Sony, Warner, whatever, it seems like they don't have a staff that knows that they're going to work there for more than a couple of months. Right. How are you going to be able to do a great job then? It's not going to happen. That's a difference. I mean, Century Media have the same staff. They love what they do, and they are trying to keep up with everything and find new solutions, and to make sure the bands can thrive, and they can, so that we can keep going.
Yeah. Well, look at the comparison between the contrast between the music industry and the film industry. Music industry refused change. They refused. And you look at the movie industry, who they fought it for about a couple years, and then they held on to it. They grasped it and they went with it. And look how well the film industry is actually, excelling in the digital age. I mean, look, Netflix.
Exactly.
Netflix alone is proof that if you go with the times and not fight it out of greed and look at the bigger picture, the music industry could be in a totally different area right now if they did.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's so fun. Today it's so more convenient. I can watch a movie when I have time to watch a movie, and it doesn't cost me big bucks to do it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to making an album, it's very hard to get a budget for it. It's very hard to get the time you need to make a better album than the last one. You have to tour as much as possible. Still, people they want a piece of that, of all the hard work you put in, and they're not doing it themselves, really.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah. Do you think real rock music, and let's be pretentious for a second, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you think real rock music will ever be appreciated by the mainstream again?
Very hard to say. I don't feel it. I don't feel it in my bones that it will. So and I don't want to be negative. I want to be positive, and I want to think differently about this. And I'm just, now the vinyl is coming back, which is a good thing, I think. I mean, it seems like people are more interested. But then again, it's so hard to say. Is it going to be more, steady, or is it going to be very rocky all the way? Right. I don't know. I don't know.
It's very hard to pinpoint, because there's so many different factors at play, and who to blame for the demise necessarily. We all know it's the music industry, but there are other factors, and it makes me wonder, pertaining to the state of music, like, is it consumers' taste or the record labels? Have we pissed away, real music so much to where the consumers now have a complete different taste in music? Like, they prefer listening to, and yes, I love EDM, I do, but I mean, when that controls every every bit of music to where you're now hearing EDM and country music. You're just like, wow, when did this happen? When did everything become one type of music? And for the most part, a lot of EDM is regurgitated horse shit, you know? Yeah. So it makes you wonder, who is it? Is it the consumers? Can we make the consumers, like, can we make the consumers want good music again? And I think people like Century Media and artists like you, if you guys get that right angle, I think we can force feed it to people, because good music is good music. And if it is heard, I think people will buy. Plain and simple.
Yeah. I totally think so too. I agree on that. And the only thing I'm scared of is that we come back to money again. Yeah. And if we cannot promote it hard enough, we're gonna get lost in the flood, you know. And I think that's the big problem. And if we cannot find the money to make sure you're seen everywhere, then people are not gonna care enough to actually. I mean, the rock and hard rock scene today, it's like, it feels almost like we're a big bunch of like music nerds, you know, which is a cool thing. It's an awesome thing, but it makes us such a different breed from the big mass who just listen to music that is being blared and just put in their face, you know, by big buck commercials.
Yeah.
It is hard, but on the other hand, you're totally right in one aspect, and that is good music no matter what. And I have proof from my own kids. I never force-fed them anything. The youngest one a couple of years ago came in and told me, like, oh, I love AC/DC. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? And then I realized he'd been listening to my Spotify account, and he had been listening to this cover since AC/DC is not on Spotify. He had heard Hell's Bells with a cover band.
Oh, there you go.
And he thought it was awesome. So what I did, I immediately played him the real Back in Black album, and he heard a difference. He was like, oh, no, it's even better.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
He couldn't relate to that it was a different band. He just thought that the song was awesome. That's all he cared about, and he could hear the difference. Though,
you know that you know what, you know, you're reaffirming my thought about good music is good music, because my son, who's 6 years old, does the exact same thing. I never even thought about it like that, but it makes sense now, because we'll be in the car, I'll listen to music, and I'll play something, and I don't even think he's paying attention, and he'll be like, Daddy, can you replay that song? And it was actually, because I'm on an AC/DC kick right now, it was Back in Black, and he's all, can you play that one again? And I started laughing, and I'm like, really? And I just looked over at him, and he's all, really? And he's all like, yeah, that one again. I'm like, okay, sweet.
That's so awesome. Yeah, see, so you're totally right. Good music is good music, and hopefully, I mean, that's also one thing. The big dinosaur bands, everybody's talking about what's going to happen when arena bands like AC/DC, Metallica, Iron Maiden are around anymore.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take up the you
guys are there.
Exactly. That's what I hope. You know, that's what I want to do.
I'm not just blowing smoke, man. Like when I'm very picky with the interviews I pick, because I'm a music snob. And when I heard the single, your new single,
Ahead of Y'all.
Yes. Oh my God. Like, I'm not joking, man. I got chills. I was stoked. I was excited. I said, okay, I need to send an email to Century Media right now. And when I found out you were from Dismember, I was like, okay, I remember Dismember. You know, and then I saw I'd never listened to Carnage, but I did remember Dismember, and then Arch Enemy. I know you guys have members that went over to start Arch Enemy, and I love them as well. And I'm like, all right, here we go. This is it.
Great. I'm so happy you like it.
Oh man, it is. It is good, solid music. And the thing about it is, going back and listening to your old catalog of music, all that stuff is good. It's raw, it's gritty. There's definitely some awesome talent and music behind there. But now with this new album, I think I don't know how you feel as an artist finding yourself, 15, 20 years later, but you guys really hit it on the head with this album. I've listened to 4 songs now. Your label sent me your guys' album. I've listened to 4 songs, and just every single one, man, is a winner. So
great.
I'm hoping you guys keep getting out there. You guys get big. I know Century Media is the place you can get big there. They have several huge artists. So I'm just waiting to see, man. I'm waiting to see you guys explode, because you guys have some fantastic music, and I'm going to do my part to get you guys out there as much as possible. Good music must be heard.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I mean, this is, of course I love hearing this, and especially since you have such good check on the right music too.
I love music, man. That's the biggest problem again with I hate to be so doom and gloom about it, but let's be honest, the radio industry and the music industry is kind of doom and gloom right now. But it's a lot of it has to do with taste in the producers and the program directors at radio stations, and they're not playing the good music, and we got to make sure it's heard. So we all got to do our part.
And I think that's also one thing. I don't know how maybe you know about this. I mean, the whole radio thing, I feel kind of, almost like I'm lost a bit. I don't really get it, because I heard that, like, we have two, like, hard rock kind of stations here in Sweden. And they're not all over the land even, which is stupid. But they are playing, like, the same stuff all over again and again and again. Yeah. One of the stations are only doing, like, classic rock songs, and then they can only do the songs that they define as classic. So it's like there's maybe like 4 Metallica songs, 4 AC/DC songs, 4 the whole thing. And it's like, if it is a Judas Priest song, it's going to be Breaking the Law. It's not going to be anything else. Off their catalog.
It's this old archaic system that they refuse to change, man. Much like the music industry as a whole, the radio industry as well. I mean, terrestrial radio, it's a dying dinosaur that they don't change. I mean, they're finally, within the last 2 years, first they put down internet radio, they put down satellite radio, they put down they put down podcasting for years. They said it's horrible. And meanwhile, while they're condemning it, everybody's listening to it. Everyone's listening to Pandora. Everybody's listening to iTunes Radio now. Everybody's listening to this because of the choices of music that they put on these things. I mean, what is the biggest complaint you hear about terrestrial radio is, look what you just said, the constant repeat of the same songs that the program director, some guy who probably has terrible taste in music, thinks people want to hear. He puts, Metallica's good. Everybody likes Metallica, so I'm going to put 5 songs that I've listened to my whole entire life right on, over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you get. You get these pseudo radio people who don't really know music. They don't really know what they're doing, and that they go by the same pattern that they've been doing for 30, 40 years. But that's why radio's dying as well, is because sometimes you need a person behind the mic. Look what's completely died out. DJs. I mean, you have now a handful of DJs in the United States that's being re-syndicated to different markets. And to me, I think what pushes the music a lot of the times is the on-air personalities, the people that, like the guy you like to listen to. Why do you like to listen to him? Whatever. He might have an opinion on the weather that's funny. He might have an opinion on something that happened last night during the football game, whatever. And then all of a sudden he plays an awesome new track from the Dagger.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And that's what we're losing in the radio industry, is we're losing on-air personalities that are interesting because of there's many different reasons why. There was just an article I read the other day where the executive of I think Clear Channel, which is one of the bigger radio broadcasters here that own a lot of the broadcast channels, said that we don't care about you. In a meeting, they said to their DJs, we don't care about you. Nobody cares about you guys. Keep your mouth shut and play music. And I think that's nobody cares about you. So just keep your mouth shut, say what you're going to play, and that's it. And I don't think that's a good decision. People want to look at 20 years ago. I used to listen to radio as a kid, 15, 20 years ago, because of the DJ. And the reason why I quit listening was because the DJs got so bad. I didn't even care about listening to the music no more, because the DJs were so boring, so mundane. You got to have a personality to kind of drive the music you're about to listen to as well. And I think that's a big part of why radio is dying out as well. And why people are moving over to the internet and all the different ways to listen to music now.
But I mean, doing that, like what Clear Channel did, I mean, that's like shooting yourself in the foot.
Yes.
That is so stupid.
Think of it this way with your music. It's like, hey, nobody cares about Fred Estby or the Dagger. We just listen. We'll play your music. That's it. We don't care about. I mean, when you like music, you care about the person that's doing it. And why would you listen, man, they don't care about you, Fred. They just listen to your music. They don't care about you. If you care about the music, they care about you.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the same thing. They don't care about you. Keep your personality to yourself. Man, don't express your opinions in life. Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and then I mean, as a radio station, you say, we don't want personality. We don't give a fuck about anything, but just hoping that everybody's going to listen to our station. Well, why would people do that?
Exactly.
If they don't have their own thing.
Yeah. Yep, it's a weird business right now, man. Everything's up in the air. The digital age has caused a whirlwind, but it's also in if you look at it, the big picture as well. The digital age has opened the doorway for people like you again to come out there and kind of make your mark. Whereas in the past it might have been a lot harder. I mean, even with, for example, you're talking about buying all your own equipment. I mean, now you're pretty much your own engineer at this point, correct? I mean, you're producing and making all your tracks and mixing. Now, is that do you find it a little bit easier to have complete control like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it makes it more cheaper. I mean, one guy I look at, there's a country singer that I listen to. He's kind of like rebel. It's called you've heard of Hank Williams, I'm sure. Hank 3 is his grandson. And he does a little bit of heavy metal, and he does some very they call it hellbilly. And I mean, he does every single album. He did 2 mainstream albums for his record label. And he said in interviews, terrible. He does not stand behind it. They didn't let him do anything. He comes out on his own label and produces the whole thing for under, $10,000 and makes a giant profit now. When the other albums were ludicrous in the budget, and he never saw a profit. And he wasn't the music he wanted. So now he's doing the music he wanted for the budget he can set in place, all because you can produce and engineer and mix and do your own stuff. And someone like yourself, Fred, who's been in the music industry for a long time, I mean, that's a cakewalk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, that's a good thing. The problem just for doing this, I mean, is that you have to, if you don't make some money from, like, for instance, the Dagger, if it goes well, if you sell some copies, you get bigger, money for playing live, then it's fine. Then you can continue doing it. But if you have to struggle all the time, like it is now, and all the labels are like, we don't have a budget for this band. We don't have a budget. And it's ending up like the bands are paying themselves for studio time. And they don't have much money. So if I want to work with a band, I have to go low with the money for my work to make it happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will do it themselves. It's not going to be as good. They have to, buy some shitty equipment to be able to record it, or they go somewhere else where it's cheaper and not as good. So, it's a struggle, but I think maybe if you just hang in there, I think it's hopefully going to change.
Yeah. Well, you guys got a solid album, and I'm excited to see what you guys do next already. So what's your tour schedule like? Are you guys setting up tours already? Are you guys starting out first in your home country and then moving out to the U.S., or do you have anything planned out here?
Actually, we're open for everything, because I'm like, I want to go like anywhere where people want to hear us. The thing is that since we haven't had the album out yet, it's kind of tough to see where we're going to start. We don't really know yet. It depends on what happens, and what the interest is like. So we'll see. We're negotiating here and there, and I would like to, again, throw it out there as well. I mean, I would really love to support some other acts, that are doing well, so that we can get out and play in front of more people instantly, because it's going to be a start. I mean, we've done all the small clubs throughout the years with Dismember and everything, and it's fun. It's great, and you meet the people, in person, you talk to people, and that's very important. But for this album now, I think we really want to get it out, to as many people as we can, because this is not such, I mean, this could be, I think this kind of music could be interesting for a bigger amount of people than the death metal scene was. So I in some ways, I want to do it differently this time and see if we could support a bigger act, if they would have us, and pay for that instead and play in front of more people and hopefully get a recognition.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with you guys could do a tour with Arch Enemy. You could do a tour with In This Moment. That's on your label. I mean, you could do one with the Butcher Babies. All 3 of those bands are female leads, which is funny, and they're huge right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge right now. So, I mean, and those are all on Century Media. And there's a few others, too, that are really big right now on Century Media. So you guys are making the right moves, and I'm hoping to see you guys explode. It's going to be awesome to see it,
me too. Me too. I'm glad you think so,
I'm stoked for you guys.
Awesome.
So, anyways, thanks, Fred, for your time today. I kept you on a little bit longer than I planned, but thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to reschedule and get everything set up.
Me too. I'm so happy. It was awesome talking to you, and it would be so cool to meet up one day.
For sure. Let me know when you're in the U.S. I live in Arizona, but I go back and forth to L.A. a lot. So if you're ever in L.A. or whatever, just let me know, man. We'll meet up, get a drink, talk music. It'll be fun.
Oh, cool. Because my girlfriend lives in Brooklyn, so we were talking about going out to the West Coast, and because neither her or me have been to LA for a very long time, so it would be awesome.
Awesome, man. We'll keep in touch. I think
Absolutely.
I can. You know what? Send me your email through Nikki, and we'll keep in contact, bud.
Definitely, absolutely. That would be awesome.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Fred. Appreciate it. And
Give
me a call whenever you guys want to promote anything.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man.
All right. You have a good one.
Okay. You too. Take it easy. Bye.
All this week, we're featuring the Dagger, Sweden's rising heavy metal rock force. On July 22nd, the Dagger will release their self-titled debut via Century Media Records in North America. For more information about the Dagger, please visit facebook.com/DaggerOfficial.
Fellas, are you looking to spice things up in the bedroom? Been fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy or adult movie? Well, here's an offer you won't be able to resist. Go to adamandeve.com, and for a limited time only, you'll get 50% off just about any item. But that's not all. Oh no. When you select your one item at 50% off, you'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs for a little inspiration. Plus, a free extra gift so sensual, we can't mention it on the radio. And to top it all off, we'll even throw in free shipping on your entire order. And no, we're not teasing. So check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. Get 50% off one item when you type DEAL30 for the offer code upon checkout. When you do, you'll get 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift, and free shipping. Just use offer code DEAL30 at adamandeve.com.
To tell about 3 bad brothers you know so well. It started way back in history with that Rob and me. My team. Been had a little horsey named Paul Revere. Just me and my horsey in a quart of beer. Riding across the land, kicking up.
All right, Rain Man Digital, RainManWasHere.com. You can catch our show on continuous replay on on our live stream on Rain Man Channel 001. Just go to RainManWasHere.com/Rain Man Channel 001. Continuous replay. Plus, you can catch that the Fred Estby interview. That guy is pretty damn brilliant, man. Not gonna lie. That guy's a musician. I enjoyed. I mean, the interview was roughly about almost an hour, and I mean, I could talk to that guy for another 2 or 3 hours tops. I mean, we had so much fun. The music itself, I mean, the casual side. I love when interviews go from Q&A, as I always talk shit about. I hate the Q&A. So tell me, what's your greatest inspiration? It goes from Q&A to casual banter about family, and why you actually got into music, why you left music, and it was a good personal interview as well. So I hope everyone else enjoyed it as well.
Is it sort of like hit and miss so far from all these interviews that you've done? Have you noticed?
What do you mean hit or miss?
Like you could tell, well, maybe like the first couple minutes of the interview, you could tell that this is going to go good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure, yeah. Yeah, he was one of the people that I enjoyed doing an interview. Actually, I've enjoyed all the interviews so far, but some of them it's easier to talk to more than others. Like, I have to drag some of that, which is just because some people just don't talk a mile a minute.
Everyone is a Louis Lombardi.
Right. Exactly. No, there's it's really funny because bulletproof blanket designed to prevent deaths during school shootings. Now, they have all these ideas to prevent school shootings. Just train 2 or 3 teachers that remain on campus, like a principal, and say, "Listen, give them a gun." I'm not saying have them strapped to their backs all the time, but have it in a lockbox up high someplace in a safe, secure area where they are the only ones who know the combination. Each person in charge of their gun, and then if there's an emergency, you have trained people on. I don't know what the fear is of having legitimate people who know their shit have guns on campus, or have security guards. Not security guards, have well-trained security guards that have gone through background checks who aren't just lunatics, wannabe cops.
I'd rather have that, honestly, than having off-duty police officers or security guards than telling a teacher who probably has absolutely zero training on a gun.
Well, no, I'm saying
telling grandma that, hey, it's time for you to learn how to shoot a gun.
Well, the teachers, I don't think you should just give. You need to go put the teachers through training. I mean, you have to go through rigorous training before you give them that gun. I'm not saying give Mrs. Middleton. She just graded Tommy's report spelling bee, and now she's going to carry a gun and wield it. No, I put Miss Middleton through some training. teach her how to use a gun. Why waste? I mean, there's so many new gimmicks now. There's also another gimmick that some teacher invented. They're thinking of putting into schools that's going to help protect kids. And I'm like, unless it's an armored blast door, it's not going to work.
Well, here's my thing, dude. I think the thing that bothers me the most about this is that at this point, we've come to a point in this whole situation where we're not trying to stop the shootings. We're trying to protect the children.
Right.
That's a problem in and of itself.
Yeah.
Stop the fucking shootings, and we don't need bulletproof blankets.
Well, how do you suggest they stop shooting? Because you can't. That's just like Tony wrote something on Facebook today. He's like, end bigotry, end racism, end sexism, whatever he said, and it'll be a perfect world. He's all like, let's like basically he was being sarcastic, saying that's never going to happen. People are people. People are imperfect.
Yeah, no, it's true. I basically said end racism, end sexism, end bigotry. Just build a machine that reprograms human nature.
Right. And that's not going to happen, obviously. And same thing with guns. I mean, you could take away guns, you could do this, but you know what? If someone wants to go out and shoot kids, guess what? They're still going to shoot kids. They're still going to murder people. So how do you stop it? Is there a way to stop shooting?
I mean, we didn't have school shootings until late 90s, early 2000s. Okay. What did we do before that?
I don't know. I think people are getting more and more crazy. I think there's a new generation of crazies because of a lot of reasons that we don't understand. Just like we're having cases of autism popping up, but we have no idea really what's causing them. There's a bunch of how do we not know how in this day and age, okay, we're in fucking space and we're planning journeys to Mars, but we don't know what's causing autism?
Well, I can tell you why we don't know.
Parenting?
No, the reason that we don't know is because it's more profitable to
back away from the mic a little bit.
Sorry, it's more profitable to treat the disease than it is to find a cure.
And a lot of times the treatment is giving them antidepressants, which is fucking up more.
Well, children's minds aren't meant for antidepressants. They're not.
Issue of children and young adults being diagnosed with mild autism and Asperger's now, and there's really nothing wrong with these
it's the same
kids
thing,
and
Mike.
these
When
people.
it's
just bad parenting.
It's ADD when we were kids. It's ADD when we were kids.
Isn't it also in some sort of way people not coping with stress?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of things, man. And the fact that shootings have always happened, but yes, there is it's
because
happened
it's not
more.
Just school shootings. It's there's office shootings. There's mall shootings.
I'm telling you, man, people now, I think what it is we're getting a generation of pussies. Like you have Elliot Rodger, who just can't take life. They have no basis of reality. And they act out like babies because their parents don't punch them in the face when they act up.
Exactly.
I mean, we've created this culture of you can't spank a child.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, thanks to Dr. Spock. If you remember that,
Dr.
Spock was the one. You don't spank your kids.
You don't spank the kids. That raises them to be monsters.
Do you even have kids, Dr. Spock? I don't even think he had kids.
No.
He wasn't even a doctor.
Mm-mm.
Of course not. Freaking the other guy, Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil's not a doctor.
I was wondering where those Vulcan years were.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, Tony.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
Gary Oldman blasts liberal Hollywood, defends Mel Gibson and Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Yes. Totally out of context.
Now, hold on a second. I do agree with the general theme of what he's saying. The general theme. Brian?
Yeah. Where do you want me to start?
Just start from the beginning.
Where do you want me to read the article?
Gary Oldman, has blasted Hollywood.
All right. Gary Oldman has blasted Hollywood for what he Jesus, really?
Take two?
Yeah. So Gary Oldman has blasted Hollywood for what he perceives as a double standard, asserting that Bill Maher.
Bill Maher.
Oh, come on.
And Jon Stewart can get away with politically incorrect humor, while others like Mel Gibson and Alec Baldwin cannot. The profanity-laced statements are included in an interview with the July/August issue of Playboy. The most explosive part of the interview includes attacks on Maher, Stewart, and House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, following his declaration that political correctness is crap.
Now, hold on. Now, I'm going to break this real briefly down. Now, he does have a point. Now, Jon Stewart and Bill Maher do get away with a lot more.
They get away with it because no one takes them seriously in that
They're
way
satirists,
because they're the stoner comedians.
Aren't they satirists or
satirists.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
So
he is, but they also get away with it because a lot of the people who are going to complain, let's be honest, most of liberal media is what controls most of what we see, but it doesn't represent the majority of the demographic of this country.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, that's why it's so weird, because a lot of media is controlled nowadays from a liberal point of view. So you're going to have liberal jokes. You're going to have liberal jabs at the conservatives. Continue your paragraph.
Okay, so he goes on to they give us a quote from the interview, and he says, well, if I called Nancy Pelosi a cunt, and I'll go one better, a fucking useless cunt. I can't really say that. But Bill Maher, I cannot say his last name. Bill Maher and Jon Stewart can. And nobody's going to stop them from working because of it. Bill Maher could call someone a fag and get away with it. He said to Seth MacFarlane this year, this is a quote from Maher, I thought you were going to do the Oscars again. Instead, they got a lesbian. Now, he can say something like that. Is that more or less offensive than Alec Baldwin saying to someone in the street, you fag?
Now, I'm going to defend...
I don't get it.
I'm going to offend Seth MacFarlane for a second. Now, going from the liberal side, I'm going to take their side on this. It is all about intent and how you say something. If he said lesbian, like... Oh, now we have a lesbian instead.
Yeah, it's
different.
Saying
Now,
dyke.
yeah, now or even if you said lesbian, but now we have a fucking lesbian doing it this year. Like,
right.
Now it's all about the intent. Alec Baldwin, I love the guy, and the guy is a genius actor. But you fag is a lot different than Seth MacFarlane. So this is where I agree with Gary Oldman's general idea of what he's saying. However, he's also kind of just going off the cuff and not really putting a lot of thought into what he's saying.
It's also the persona that those people have built for
Right.
themselves, like Bill Maher and Jon Stewart. They're the ridiculous, overly satirical stoner comics.
Yeah.
So you don't take what they say seriously. So you
Maybe
don't
I'm
get
missing a
offended
point
by
also,
it.
but between the two words lesbian and fag, I could see where fag would probably get more
Right.
of the
I don't know why your mic keeps getting shittier and shittier. It's all right.
I've crossed the border.
Yeah. Continue. I'm sorry.
No. My point is, like with the two words, like he used it, like they use the word lesbian in one context, and Baldwin uses fag. But you know my point. I mean, I could see where people would be more offended by the word fag, but I don't get where like the offense might be because lesbian.
Yeah. Well, how else do you describe a woman who is
Right.
attracted to other women?
Right.
Normal?
Awesome.
Go ahead and continue, Brian.
All right. So Oldman, star of such films as Bram Stoker's Dracula and the Dark Knight trilogy, also asserted that the culture in Hollywood during the past award season was such that, quote unquote, if you didn't vote for 12 Years a Slave, you were a racist.
Now,
you have to be very careful about what you say.
I'm 100% on with that one.
I
because
agree.
It's the Obama syndrome as well, where if you don't like Obama, the first thing people say is you're racist. Like, no, Obama sucks as a president.
No, I just don't like lies.
Exactly. But no, he is right. He's spot on with that one.
Absolutely. He also expressed sympathy for Gibson, who declared in 2006 while being arrested that, quote unquote, Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. Wow. Gibson later apologized for the remarks. Oldman goes on to say that Mel Gibson is in a town that's run by Jews, and he said the wrong thing because he's actually bitten the hand that I guess has fed him, and doesn't need to feed him anymore because he's got enough dough. He's like an outcast, a leper, I don't know about Mel. He got drunk and said a few things, but we've all said those things, the actor told Playboy during the interview, which began with a discussion of Oldman's role in Dawn of Planet of the
Now,
Apes.
when he says we've all said those things, now we've not all blamed the world wars on Jews.
Well, no, he actually goes on and he explains it.
Right, we've all said things. We've all said stupid shit when we're drunk and we're in the confines of our room or of our home where we're comfortable. It doesn't mean we're a racist. It doesn't mean we hate gays. It doesn't mean we hate lesbians. It doesn't mean we hate black people. It just means we're comfortable and we just say stupid shit.
What the fuck?
So essentially, he goes on to say that we're all fucking hypocrites,
Yes.
and that's
Spot
what,
on.
that's what
Yeah,
he thinks
that-
about
that's
it.
100%
He says that the policeman who arrested Gibson has never used the word. I'm not going to say that word. I'm just not the N-word or that fucking Jew. He's being brutally honest. He says, I'm being brutally honest here. It's the hypocrisy of it that drives me crazy. He also defended Baldwin's use of homophobic language, saying, Alec calling someone an FAG in the street while he's pissed off coming out of his building because they won't leave him alone. I don't blame him. So they persecute. Now, there's an update to this. Douglas Urbanski is Oldman's manager and his producing partner, and he asserts in an email that Oldman's not a bigot. He says in the email that
I don't think he's a bigot at all.
I don't either. I think he's being honest.
I think he's honest and he's old school and he's just saying how it is.
Well, and he's also British.
And how he views it.
He's
Yeah.
also British, and so he's got a different take on what we look at as American pussification.
But his whole point, number one point, was all about the overuse of politically correctness, and it's how it's ruining society. It's ruining humor. It's ruining entertainment because now you have comics always thinking
Yeah.
Should I say this? Should I not say this?
Yeah,
Should I do this?
walking on eggshells
Yeah,
everywhere.
and it's not
It's
right.
not just
it shouldn't be
comics.
done.
It's like anybody nowadays.
Well, I don't care about like average Joe. It's not affecting me if average Joe down the street that I never spend time with is walking on eggshells. It bothers me when you want to see a good comic stand up and he's acting like, oh, I can't say that. When back like 8 years ago, you go and see a funny fucking show and he's not thinking about who he's gonna hurt whose feelings he's gonna hurt.
Yeah, like if Eddie Murphy tried to do Delirious
Oh.
again, that wouldn't fucking happen.
No, I mean Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart said something that was brilliant. Actually, I've never really liked the guy too much, but after he said this, it made so much sense to me, and I just loved it. He said he was asked in an interview his thought process on the Washington Redskins being compared to the N-word. And the first thing he says was like, because they say that white people, not the Indian, Native Americans, they don't say it's like the N-word. The white guilty people are the ones who say it's the same.
Absolutely.
And they say, and the first thing he said, Kevin Hart was like, look, made like a dumb face. No, it's not even close to being the same. You know how much hate is behind the N-word? He said, you know how much hate has been built on that word? He said, the Redskin name is celebrated by thousands and thousands of fans. He says it's totally different. If you go to a football stadium and you're saying, "Oh, you're doing your little
your tomahawk chop,"
yeah, and you're Redskins, you're celebrating that name. There is no, I'm not.
When was the last time that people actively went around like, "Oh, those fucking Redskins being drunk all over"? Like,
exactly.
No one even says that.
Yeah.
But there are people that are like, "Oh, those fucking niggers."
Right.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I really I applaud Kevin Hart for like coming out on a topic that's not an unpopular viewpoint.
Absolutely.
Saying how it is, because it's not, man. The N-word is, there's so much hate behind it. And yes, the Native Americans have a lot of history that the white man effed them over. But listen, I'm not going to live in your white guilt. I'm not white. I'm Irish. I'm an immigrant and I'm Mexican. I'm an immigrant on 2 points. You guys persecuted us too. We did jack shit.
Wait, okay.
The only guilty person here is Brian.
I was going to say, real quick, you're saying you guys. I'm the only white guy here, and fuck you, because I am 1/8 Native American. Okay?
Oh, come on. So that means your grandfather raped a poor Native maiden.
Well, here's my
so shame on you.
Well, here's my point. I mean, what's no offense, Brian, but what's the point of going around saying I'm 1/8 Native American?
There isn't, and that was my
because,
point.
Honestly, then I could go around and say, you know what, I'm 1/10 Muslim, and I'm 1/10
Muslim isn't a nationality.
I'm 1/10 Spaniard.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because
how do you get
it's
1/10?
The Spaniards
No, it is because
raped
it's true.
and conquered the Philippines.
No, but it's true. It's on my mom's side.
Yep.
I don't go fucking around and like telling people, hey, I'm 1/11th Spaniard and I'm 1/20th Negro.
Simmer down, Tony.
Jesus.
Goddamn fuck faces out there.
No, my whole thing, dude, saying that I'm 1/8 Native American is this. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
we're all 1/8 something.
Yeah,
there's not a single
nation
person.
Of mutts.
There's not a single person in this room that is purebred.
No,
there just isn't. I don't give a shit who you are.
I'm predominantly of Hispanic descent,
Sure.
but they're all like weird mixes. Like I
Yeah.
have Jew, like Israeli back in the mix somewhere. So
a lot of
we're all
Spanish
definitely-
people have the Jewish Muslim mixture.
Well, like my great grandma was German and she was Jewish.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of times we don't even know. We're a nation of mutts, and this whole like anti-immigration thing, like they do need to get. We're getting way too serious here, but the immigration thing, like yes, you do need to like. There's got to be something done. Like you have that flood of kids coming in from East Texas. You have all these kids, people coming in, and you're just letting them in. They were going to fly them all to California where they could take care of them. And I'm like, why are we just letting floods of immigrants now? I'm not against immigration because this nation was built on immigration. We're only here because every single one of us was immigrants.
Well, wait,
but there needs to be something done about it because it
maybe
is
they're
getting
migrant workers in training.
Here's the thing. This nation was built on people that were persecuted in their home country, persecuted or criminals. That's what this nation was built on. No, South Carolina was a penal colony.
Yeah.
Was it?
That's what it was.
Just like Australia.
Well, Australia, especially Australia.
Yeah.
But no, essentially, this nation wasn't built on immigrants. It was built on cast-offs.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference there. These people didn't necessarily want to come to America. The reason that we're so Protestant here and so fucked up is because they were persecuted in Europe for being too pure and too puritanical. And that's why we have these fucked up ass laws about the drinking age being, 21, but I can go fight for my country at 18.
Built on such like strong Judeo-Christian beliefs.
Exactly, because our founding fathers didn't want their 14-year-old daughters having sex.
Yeah.
Get on top, honey.
All right, let's move into news. I think we need to jump in right into news. Are you ready to go?
News.
All right, whenever you're ready, I'll be ready.
First in the news, President Obama reveals his favorite perks about being president.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, this is what he's decided is most fun about being president. Air Force Ones.
Air Force One.
Air Force Ones. He loves shoes. Fucking shoes.
It's like a soul plane.
So stupid.
Right.
Oh.
The Truman balcony is a really nice view.
Wow.
This is also
Wow, so far very superficial.
Well,
Good
only
job,
because
Obama.
that's where he smokes his cigarettes.
Wait, hold on.
one of the quote unquote one of the best perks about being president is almost anyone will hand you their baby.
That's just fucking creepy. All right, who wants to hold other men's
away from Obama?
No.
He's like,
I
I
think-
get this baby fixed like 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, I think Obama's 1/8 white creepy band came out.
No, he's just looking for a baby mama. I don't know.
Oh, Obama's got daddy
I'm glad
issues.
to see that of all the things that come along with being president, Obama's favorites are Air Force Ones, his balcony, and baby touching.
That's just that's creepy.
That's very superficial. Why couldn't we get like, hey, you know what? I like that I made a change on.
I like
oh wait,
that
he
I
didn't
get to
make
be
a
part of
change.
Congress. I like to be able to sit in UN meetings. Nope. He
I get
likes
to hold
touching
babies.
and looking over balconies and looking out the window of his Air Force One.
Do you think if Bush wasn't such a bad president and he didn't fuck up a lot, we didn't have the whole Iraq, freaking fiasco? Do you think Obama would be looked at even worse as a president?
Yes, because
absolutely.
he's black.
No, not because
You know what
no.
I think?
That's his saving grace.
Now,
you
His
think
saving
that's
grace.
if Bush was a good president and left us in a good place as a country,
We
when
wouldn't
he
have.
went
We
out
never
of
would have had
office,
Obama.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if
Hillary would have won.
It wouldn't surprise me like 4 years after President Obama's gone that he'll probably be looked at again like maybe like how we look at George W. Bush now. Because, like when George W. Bush was president, he was like,
I feel like
there was a lot of people that thought that he was the worst president ever.
They were wrong.
Now, 4 years after he's left the office, people are saying, yeah, you know what?
Because actually, dude, the common.
I'm sorry, but I'm never gonna be about Bush because that guy took us to war and took over a country
I feel like
and then
Obama's
done nothing
gonna be
with it.
compared to Senior.
Yeah.
No, but
that's too much
honestly,
credit. I'm sorry.
4 years after Obama's left office, we'll probably look back at the presidency and say, what?
Hold on, really fast, and I want to get back into the news. But Obama, okay, listen, I'm not a fan of Obama, but let's break it down and be realistic here. If we weren't in the golden age of digital media and internet and how you can't hide anything from us anymore, really, we figure everything out, do you think we would look at Obama as bad as we do now? I don't think so. If this was 15, 20 years ago when we didn't have the internet and all this alternative news, we would probably take everything they're giving us and be like, he's a great president.
Yeah. No,
how many other
Hold on.
presidents
Hold
are
on.
guilty just like him?
15, 20 years ago, you didn't have this liberal stranglehold on the media. Okay, you didn't.
Dude,
it was
everything
starting,
was fucked
but it
with
wasn't
Reagan.
there.
Starting with Reagan, things started getting shake.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I mean,
Let's suffocate monkeys with pot smoke.
yeah, I mean, dude, after JFK, every president after him has been questionable, dude, when it comes to who's really controlling the White House.
Well, JFK didn't control the White House.
All right, so what else do we have in the news?
Next in the news, Honda, Mazda, and Nissan recall vehicles over potentially explosive airbags.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll be safe. Oh my God, my face!
I thought Japanese cars were much more efficient in the past. I don't know.
I guess a lot of these models are having airbag issues where they may spontaneously explode and then shoot shrapnel all over the inside of the vehicle.
So they go suicide bomber on the drivers.
Well, I think the scariest part is it's 3 million cars.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a small number. It's not like it's 100,000. It's 3 million cars.
It says that they're bringing the total recall number to about 10.5 million over the past 5 years.
Wow.
Between all these makers.
Wow. Now, do they have a reason as to why this is happening? What was the fuck? What went wrong on the fucking assembly line to where that happened? Like who fucked up and who's getting fired? That's the hard hitting question. That's what inquiring minds want to know. Who fucked up to where?
It sounds like it's more of like it goes back to the engineer.
Really?
The engineer fucked up in the design.
Well, you have to remember that anytime anything's built, it's built by the lowest bidder. Okay? Like, no, I mean, think about this. Our roads, our cars, everything is built for as cheaply as possible, right? So the lowest bidder always wins. That's a terrifying thought. Like the space shuttle, lowest bidder built all the parts. Fuck that. Like, no, I'm not going into space in something that was built on the cheap. Okay? Like,
let's cut corners here.
Right? Exactly. It's like the whole Challenger thing could have been fixed. The Challenger would not have blown up if it hadn't have been for a 50-cent O-ring. Like, that's ridiculous.
You blew it!
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, I guess the chief executive of the company that makes the airbags released a statement saying, "We will aim to further strengthen our quality control system and work united as a company to prevent problems from happening again."
Thanks to
In other words,
Thank you.
In other words, we fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
Well,
you
I guess-
imagine? Now, did anybody actually die from this?
Well, there were 2 deaths in America. 2 deaths in the U.S.
Are you doing news or are you doing news?
I'm sorry, Aisha. I apologize.
I like him helping me out.
He's the
Sorry.
fact checker. It's
I am.
all right.
It's always been that way.
Check your
Go ahead.
facts.
Well, 2 deaths.
2 deaths in the U.S. have been attributed.
Oh,
both
that's a shame,
Both
man.
time
You
they were Honda
imagine?
vehicles. But actually, Takata says that the defective airbags, it's because of humidity. He says humidity is the problem. But the company has also
So people
admitted...
in Florida, please watch out.
Hold on. The company has also... No, fuck that, dude. Kill as many people in Florida as we can. But
they need it.
the company's also admitted
Darwinism.
that they failed to properly store chemicals and had botched the manufacturing of explosive propellants used to
Oh, my
inflate the
God.
airbags at the plant in Mexico. So he says it was the humidity.
Mexico.
Well, that's where
Good
a
job.
ton of our car
We
parts
can't
are
do
made.
anything right over there.
Yeah. But no, essentially, the detective airbags happened because the chemicals weren't stored properly, and that's how the humidity got to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking terrifying.
That is pretty bad, man.
It's
When
terrifying.
you can't even like feel safe driving a car, the airbag's supposed to protect
only
you.
if you have a Honda, Nissan, or Mazda.
Right. So, 3 of the biggest
Buy
sellers.
American.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because American cars are so much better. GM just recalled 10 million
Aren't
cars
most
last
of
week.
their parts
Ford.
manufactured in Japan?
Yeah. That we outsource everything nowadays.
Just about, yeah.
What else do we have in the news, Aisha?
Next in the news, a student gets trapped in a vagina sculpture.
How does that even happen?
It took 22 firefighters to pry him loose.
Jesus. They were all tugging him out the vagina.
Right, how many firefighters does it take to pull a kid out of a vagina?
I mean,
Not enough.
it's just a shame because this is a student going to Germany, and it has to be a U.S. American making us look like we're all a bunch of idiots over here. Because that's what they're thinking.
He just needed to see what the inside of that vag was like.
The real question is, how did he get in there? What prompted him?
Lots of lube.
What prompted him to go ahead and get stuck in that sculpture?
Maybe he wanted to see how it fit. See how it felt.
I get from what I heard, it was a dare. His friend dared him to climb into it, and then he couldn't climb back out.
And as he was trapped, he said, "Take a
those
picture."
look like some pretty tight walls.
Yeah, here's my question though: why do you have a giant vagina sculpture in the middle of the street?
Yeah, it's like outside in the middle of.
I mean, that's the real question here: is why is there a giant vagina? And honestly, as a man,
And
who
it's
wouldn't
not
want to climb
even,
into
like,
it?
tasteful, like Georgia
he got
O'Keeffe
snatched
style.
by the snatch.
No, it just looks like a
It's
giant
like a big
vagina.
rectangular vagina cutout.
Yeah, I would tap it a little bit as I walked by. I wouldn't probably get in it. First of all, how do you get stuck?
Right, it's nice.
What is
It's
it,
not all
closing? What is it, the garbage compactor from Star Wars?
No, it's
magnetically sealed? Dude,
It was
just
doing its
wiggle out.
Kegels. It was doing its Kegels.
Did he stump his ankle and it swelled up and he couldn't get out? What the fuck?
Snatched him.
It looks like he might have gone in forward and then turned himself. And then
What an
gotten
idiot.
stuck.
Yeah, I don't. Jesus Christ.
Fuck you!
He probably won't have sex for a while.
Fuck you!
Or ever again. The guy's fucking traumatized. He
Right?
only does it in the butt from now on.
Look what the pussy caught.
Oh my!
I don't want to get stuck in your vagina.
The German vagina's like, I got an American. I don't know why they sounded fucking whatever that was.
It was
That
Indian.
was bad. That was bad. Would you like a Slurpee? Jesus Christ.
You shouldn't have fucked me so hard.
What else do we have in the news?
Next, a Connecticut man goes to court hiding 19 bags of weed in his sock.
Jesus. He went to court?
So he came from home.
It was this guy from Florida.
No,
Connecticut.
This is happening in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah, authorities say a Connecticut man who told his probation officer he wasn't foolish enough to bring drugs into a courthouse had been hiding 19 bags of pot in his left sock.
Wow. Did they see it? Like, excuse me, sir, what's that bulge in the side of your Adidas sock there?
Darren Shelley had a hearing Monday in Stanford Superior Court on a charge of possession with intent to sell.
Jesus.
So wait, he was going to jail, or he's going to court for possession with intent.
Yeah.
And he brought 19 bags, like 19 nickel bags, to court.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Like,
yeah, Your Honor.
I mean, they couldn't have been that. I mean, unless he has huge feet.
He's going to try to sell them to the
wondering.
inmates?
Like, was he telling
No, they had
people
to be
that he
tiny
had gout?
baggies. They had to be tiny baggies.
Okay, maybe I missed
Gram
this.
bags?
Yeah. It's just grams.
Did I miss why he was going to court? What was it? Did you say that? I don't know.
Possession with intent to distribute.
Oh, so he was already going in there.
Yeah,
for
he was
that.
already going for what he got in trouble for again. I guess the officers discovered it after a pat down.
He saw a
before the
business
trial.
opportunity.
He's like, excuse me, sir. I don't use weed. I don't smoke weed. Well, sir, what is that in your Adidas sock stuff? I don't know. It just simply got there on its own, Your Honor. I don't do the drugs.
Too racist.
Too racist. Come on. Do we need the dolphin? I don't know what people are thinking. I'm going to go in this courthouse with my weed stuck snugly in my sock.
Like, no, I mean, seriously, like, how stoned do you have to be to go...
Pretty damn stoned.
Like, I mean, seriously, like, you have to be so fucked up that you just...
I was fucked up.
Well,
I was fucked up, but I didn't care.
Dude was in court. He's, like, sweating it, and, like, the sweat gets into the fucking baggie, and then you just smell weed. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's cigar weed.
Cigar weed?
It's cigar weed shit. I don't do drugs. All right, what else do we have in the news?
So dumb.
Next in the news.
You know what, though? Hold on real fast. It's so funny, though, and Dan and I discussed this in detail at length forever about the cops. You know, you watch Cops, and you always get the criminals. It doesn't matter if he's black, white, Mexican. They get caught red-handed. And that's not mine.
Right.
It ain't mine. I'm like, you were smoking it. We saw you. We have you. Nah, that wasn't me. I was standing here the whole time talking to my bitch. That I wasn't smoking. Dude, we got you on tape. We have it right here.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Oh, man. It's priceless. I love it. What else do we have in the news?
Next in the news, here in Arizona, gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Left alone with a sex offender, a teacher is raped in Arizona prison.
Oh.
So it looks like she was teaching like a GED class, and all the other students have left. One straggler stays behind asking for help, and then asks her that he needs to use the bathroom, pushes her into the bathroom, stabs her in the head with a pencil.
Oh, my God.
And then rapes her. It doesn't say, from what I've seen so far, it doesn't say what her condition is, because I would assume if you get stabbed in the head with a pencil, you don't generally live from that.
So he raped her post-death then, I'm assuming?
No, she was
I think
fine.
she's okay, actually,
She's okay.
surprisingly, even
She's
though
okay.
she got stabbed in the head with a pencil.
I don't know if I should say she's lucky or not. I mean, Jesus Christ, she got raped, so do you say you're lucky?
Hold on.
The real kicker about this, the dude that did it was in his first year of a 30-year sentence for raping a woman in Glendale.
Why would you leave someone alone with that? I don't even understand
Yeah,
that.
there weren't any guards around. They just she had one of their walkie-talkies, and it turns out it wasn't even set on the right station that the guards were using.
Right. Well, and not only that, but the guy's the one that used the walkie-talkie to call for help for her.
So, like, he stabs her, rapes
He stabs her, rapes her, and then calls for help. And then they realize he actually leaves the room and starts screaming in the middle of the hallway.
Because she had been screaming for help before he raped her, and no one came.
So is he trying to, like, did he feel bad? Or
Well, he didn't want her to die. Because that would
that matters so much.
Yeah, he was probably going to say,
he's
wasn't
already
me.
in prison. He knows he can't get in that much more trouble. Like, where's he going to go from there, Seg?
Right, exactly. I mean, 30 years. You're only serving 1 year, and you murder and rape someone at that point. I mean, I think you're going to get another 20 years probably tacked on because of the act of the crime.
Yeah, but it's Arizona, so he'll be out in 10 with good behavior.
Yeah.
Overpopulation.
Yep.
Yeah. Flipper doesn't like this story.
No. No one likes this
Flipper
story.
disapproves.
Yeah. What else do we have in the news?
Next in the news.
That was way too dark.
Can we brighten up the news?
Sorry, guys.
Oh.
Bringing it over to Florida.
All right.
More fucked upness. Kayla Oxenham, Florida mom, allegedly branded her children with a hot stick.
Come here,
That wasn't,
Come here, honey.
That wasn't uplifting at all.
Yeah. Come here, honey. I don't want to lose you, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to brand you real good here. It's going to have your first initial and your last initial. It may sting just for a little bit. You know how when I curl your hair just a little bit when you go to school, and sometimes I might nick your neck a little bit, and it burns. It's just going to feel like that. I just don't want to lose you because I love you so much here, little Sherry.
How do you spell R?
Yeah. Don't move. Hold on there. Here, do you want to put a leather belt in your mouth just so you don't break your teeth when you scream? What the fuck's wrong with people?
Yeah, her kids were 5 and 7, and during the investigation, the 7-year-old told investigators that the reason why she said she was doing it was, 1, to be able to identify them as hers, and so they could have ice cream.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You can't have any ice cream until I brand you.
She doesn't want to lose her. What, is she afraid she's not going to see them for 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden they grew up and she doesn't have, like, I can't find them. I don't know what my kids.
She loses them at the mall and takes home the wrong kid.
Yeah.
She's not branded.
Does she have bad eyesight, so she has to feel for the brand marks like Braille? Like, what's going on here?
This is why we
Is she Helen Keller?
Mandatory sterilization. Mandatory sterilization.
Oh, come on.
There needs to be a parenting aptitude test. You need to take a test to
fuck
get a driver's
test.
license.
Just go straight to spay and neuter.
You should need to get some sort of certification or licensing to bring new fucking life in the world.
At the same time, guys, it was a 5 and a 7-year-old, and she's only 23.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
if we're
think
going to
about that.
if we're going to spay and neuter our pets, we need to spay and neuter the hillbillies.
Well, hold on a second. I agree with what Aisha says, because Dan and I said that as well in Middle Lives a lot, is you need to go in a certain... If you're not of a certain age, or you have a track record of immature acts, or whatever, you need.
Age. It's all about being established and responsible.
Yeah, you need to exactly. You need to show that you have an income. You need to show that you have a long stay. Kind of like when you go buy a car or a house, they usually want 3 to 4 years of being in one location and having a job for 2 to 3 years
It's
or
called
more.
stability.
Right. So
if
if they require that to purchase a car and a home, why wouldn't they do that to certain individuals?
Something that may not potentially grow up and start a school shooting because they had a bad parent.
Exactly, because their fucking mother, Helen Keller, branded them. I can't find my daughter.
These girls are going to be hookers and strippers and maybe make it to 19.
Jesus.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
One more. Let's go one more news topic.
Lastly in the news, Laura Lundquist, 102,
Wow.
faces murder charge and nursing home killing.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
What the fuck?
102-year-old woman accused of killing her 100-year-old roommate in
It was a
Massachusetts
mercy kill.
nursing
Mercy
home,
kill.
right?
It was
Nearly
mercy kill.
5 years ago. She already killed this person 5 years ago and is barely facing her sentencing in her trial.
Do you even put somebody on trial that age? I mean, just listen. The old bitch killed someone who probably was going to die a couple years anyways. Put her out the pasture. Put one gun up to the back of her head. Put her out. Say, listen.
A swift hit with a baton right in the back of the head should end it.
Or do like a Walking Dead. Just look at the flowers, honey. Look at the flowers, and then just cap her in the back of her head. She's old. She's lived her life, and she murdered somebody. Why waste our tax dollars on putting her through a trial? She's not going to live.
But I like how she killed her. The plastic bag.
She did a Dexter, dude.
Plastic bag over the woman's head, and the chick's got dementia.
Oh, she's crazy.
Yeah, that's why it's taken 5 years.
Or they probably talked about it.
It could be one.
Probably talked about it. They're like, I don't want to fucking keep living here. Just let me go in my sleep. And they probably planned it.
That makes sense.
And because she has dementia, they don't want to believe anything they're saying she's not even fit to stand trial. She's just in a psych ward.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's mistook the plastic bag for a shower cap.
Oh Jesus! I guess the son. What was it?
Here, honey. We don't want to kill. I'm going to wash your hair for you. We're going to put this shower cap on your head to make sure your hair doesn't get wet.
This
Whoops,
hurts.
I suffocated you old bitch.
This hurts me more than it hurts you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, how nice. She's sleeping.
You're going to sleep forever.
Yeah.
She looks so
very
natural.
Tired.
She looks so natural.
All right. On that note, we need to go. Thank you, everybody, for the show. You can find us anytime on Stitcher and iTunes. Search Rain Man. We'll be back next week with the Joe Lansdale interview. Don't go. No, do go someplace. We'll be gone. Later.
Let's get the fuck out of this motherfucking hellhole!
All this week, we're featuring the Dagger, Sweden's rising heavy metal rock force. On July 22nd, the Dagger will release their self-titled debut via Century Media Records in North America. For more information about the Dagger, please visit facebook.com/DaggerOfficial.